Oh boy. I think I have a bunch of technical difficulties going on here. The mic seems to be way too quiet. Crank it. Test 1, 2, 3. Hopefully that's working or coming through. We'll see in a minute when I let everybody else hear my beautiful voice in the Discord. And also, I should fix my camera, which is also not working. Where are you, webcam? Why you no work? Well, where did you go, webcam? What did you do? Oh boy. Come on. Come on, camera. Where did you go? I always love starting my streams with complete and utter failures. It definitely makes me feel good. It's not turning on. What is the deal with airline peanuts? Wow. It's legitimately just not working. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my stuff today. I think it's kind of a ripple effect from when my audio wasn't working. My headphones, I think the plug-in ports on my PC just went, so I have to get a little creative. Hopefully there isn't like a weird buzzing with the mic because I had to increase the gains because the way it. Anyways, there's a lot of mumbo jumbo going on. I'm gonna get us Discord. Hopefully Discord's working. Testing 1, 2, 3. Screech. I got you guys. Got you guys with that sweet old noise. So, today's episode of Meridian Fall campaign. Number 1 side. We're ready now. We got our stuff. We got our things going on. I need to wait for one person to show up, but in the meantime, I can have the others possibly yeah, I figure he's just getting his stuff working. We're also short one player who is going to be short one person who's going to be not here this week because that's what it is. He's forgone hunting in D&D and decided to go and actually be a person and do things. Also, I have a 3D printed beholder, which I think is pretty cool. I've had it for a while. I just never showed it off. I think it's kind of cool myself. The foreshadowing for a beholder is the beholders that I've been sending at you. That's what the I sent one at you, and I've also made the dice summon baby ones. So, I mean, I've kind of implied it across the board. I even mentioned it a little bit in the Grey Folk thing. I'm thinking there's some foreshadowing on beholders already. And that might just be because I personally have a sweet spot for them, so... I was gonna read it, but it shrunk it, and I was like, oh well, I'd have to actually click it and do some stuff, and yeah, that was one more click than I was willing to do that moment. So I'll probably go take a peek. I kind. um. Well, I will. I'll go take a look at it shortly. We will see. We will see. Upstairs, Audrey. Go, go, go. Being slightly, getting a little bit of background in this one, in this episode. Luckily, no one's really watching right now, so I can get away with all that nonsense. That's okay. Someone could feel free to post in the Discord if they want, but I would wait for Ezekiel to show up so that we can actually start. So Fjorn is not here. His character, we will say, is off training with Rim. I've actually took the liberty and had Rim and Fjorn both removed from anyone watching. If they look at the side, they will not only have access to Oris, Blanford, and May, because those are the only characters we're going to be using this session. And sure, I'll let you guys introduce yourself. We'll start with Oris. Give me 1 second. Can you just start talking again? Yeah, sorry. I just realized the stream was not putting through you guys. So so far I've been talking to myself, which is fun. But yeah, Oris, if you'd like to introduce yourself a second time.
All right, I'm Stop Shulking. I play Oris, the monk. He likes to be versatile in battle, but he's not too excited about fighting. But he does it to protect his friends, so, or his allies.
Awesome. And we have Blanford.
Hi, I'm Foster. I'm playing Blanford. I'm I don't I'm here trying to because I was told to look after these people and keep them safe. Oh boy, this is actually kind of funny. We got two people who are trying to keep everyone safe. Uh, uh, this is actually kind of odd. We need to have a conversation about this. Uh, uh, and I just don't, I'm just, now that we're not part of the military and we're doing our own thing, it's kind of interesting why I'm still here doing that since that was part of military assignment, and it's odd. It's very odd.
Well, it's not really odd. You left your military assignment when everyone left their military assignment to just be friends and explorers, adventurers, heading off to discover things about the Mazgate and elves in general. And yeah, I don't think you're doing it out of military service anymore. You're probably just doing it because they've saved you a bunch of times and you get to take credit for all their cool stories. So we're still waiting on one person. It's interesting that that's delaying us here.
He said he was in the bathroom.
I'm just going to try to find the information I have on the quests that I have a feeling you guys are going to go do. Or at least attempt to do. Just so that I'm ready.
We're going to go do Dapper Dan's quest, I think.
I think that's what we're doing, right? So I have to kind of...
Also, we need to check. We also need to check to see if Blackfang has returned, or if he because he said he'd be a day or so.
Hey, Ballin Hippo, nice. Thanks for coming to watch.
Has the Blackfang showed up to with
information on the front, yeah. So
and
you got sorry. I guess I'll just recap kind of what's going on for anyone trying to just remember what's going on in this campaign so far. You guys are in the Elven lands there. You're in a town or city, major city? I'll say city. called Elwain, and you are basically essentially heroes there at the moment, and people are giving you quests and things to do, which you're just keeping busy helping while you wait for an impending army potentially coming to attack, and you're not quite sure how, when, why that might happen. Your friend, the Black Fang, disappeared to go scout that out, and he's going to return probably sometime this morning. So you guys woke up fresh, just had your long rest, and then you spent a few hours doing your downtime stuff. You guys went to the library and a bunch of other things. I believe Oris actually asked for more information on revenants, which is pretty relevant considering it has been a day since you guys were attacked by that revenant, which means it's very likely that it has found a new host body and is doing what it can to prepare some other way to maybe trap or kill. Specifically, you two actually are the ones that the revenant wants to kill. So we've got a couple of things, going on. You got the revenant, you got the Black Fang, you got the quests that you want to do, and you got this war coming, and then there's also some other oddball things like a little bit about Whimsy that you might be interested in, although Fjorn's not there, so it makes it more difficult for you to do that. Sorry, is Ezekiel? Yes, if you'd like to introduce May.
Yo, what's up? I'm May. No,
It's your boy May.
I'm May. I'm a young, really, really young, high elf girl that's a wizard, and I'm just traveling with my friends, and we're trying to adventure together. What?
Well, awesome.
So.
Awesome. And I already did the recap, so unless you personally forget where you are, which I don't think you do, you guys have woken up and done a little bit of research. I think you guys, I gave you your research sections already, and Oris was the one who asked kind of after the bit and was like, oh, hey, I also wanted to spend some time looking up revenants, so I was going to give you guys a little more information on them, if that's all right, before we jump in. So you do some studying on revenants, and I can't really remember exactly what I gave you last time. Hopefully I don't overlap too much, but to be fair, that's how researching in a library would be. You would get a lot of overlapping information, I'm sure. You know that they regenerate, you know that it's going to come after you for another year of your life. It won't give up until either you die, a year passes, or you guys find some other way to deal with the revenant. Now, it's not known to you if this will work, but some people have postulated the idea of not killing the revenant, that it might remain trapped in its revenant form if you can find some way to cage it, chain it to some... They're very strong, so it would have to be something powerful to keep them locked away. But they're not even sure if that's the case, because they may be able to voluntarily leave their form and just find a new host. So that's arguably the best plan. Is basically you're reading through a book and one of them just said, we caught a revenant once and we tossed it off a ship in the middle of the White Seas and hoped that it would it would drown, I guess, eventually, but it wouldn't really, because it keeps coming back with 10 hit points. So theoretically they got rid of it, but then there's no more records or log journals from that person, so you're not sure if that worked. They supposedly defeated the revenant, but then they were not heard from again, so maybe that didn't work and the revenant chased them down. Overall, it's kind of a mysterious enemy, a lot of DM wiggle room there, and I'm hoping you guys it takes a while for you guys to figure out what's going on, because I think it's a fun little plot hook that I can throw at you when I want to. So yeah, Oris gets that information, and then he steps out along with the rest of you, who have I think all three of you are actually doing stuff in the library or possibly at the Shrine of Saloon, and now you've all met up again, sans Fjorn, to make plans for the day.
All right, so I guess we can do the Shadowfell thing. I mean, if we don't got Fjorn with us, I know he's training right now, so we wanted to wait on
Yeah,
go
well,
hunt something instead.
yeah, I don't feel like it's prudent to go into the Shadowfell without Mr. Shadowfell. Um, so let's instead, uh, isn't there, uh, and we've told the,
Thing?
let's try our hand at, let's try our hand at, um, taming, uh,
Owlbears.
yeah.
That's
Did
an
we finish?
option.
Did we finish the Grey Folk thing? What was that we did with them?
Finish the Grey Folk? Yeah, so you found the third piece of information that was enough for you to propose your case to the shrine. I believe the summation of all the information that you got. Again, they're all. It's not like straight up proof. It's a lot of guesses, but it kind of gave you the breadcrumbs needed to move forward, and they were willing to reward you with what you had discovered. You learned
And that was
that.
how we got the goodies.
Yeah, you learn that it's some kind of psychic or like mental disease that's passed on by some people say empathy. You don't actually know that for certain, but it seems to apply to some of the other investigating you had done, so you're okay with that. And you think maybe some creature is purposefully like seasoning the populace because there's a theory that their flesh tastes different once they turn gray, and then may come and cull and eat people. You're not quite sure, but enough of that gave the Shrine of Saloon the idea that, oh, if this is some kind of psychic disease, if this is something like of that nature, we recommend trying to find Hekram, because he is known for those things. Although you did not get a whole lot of information on who or where Hekram would be, and even they weren't very helpful, saying that they'd heard of him, but they don't know where he would be kept or what affiliations he has. But then the other hint, of course, is that you realize that, as May pointed out to the group at the end of the last session, that the magical dice you have do imply that they were made by Hekram. Maybe they're written. Maybe there's like Elvish or some language there that says his name or something. I'm not exactly sure how you would discern that, other than the meta knowledge of what the dice were named. But you figure it out in some regard without me accidentally telling you more information about who Hekram is.
So, I mean, I guess we can do owlbears. I don't know. I mean, I was just meaning I don't know if we want to go into the Shadowfell. And the only other thing we have that's like the quest line would be to go help this guy hunt or something. I don't really remember.
Well, you guys
But we
meet with Clementine to decide, because you're like, okay, we're gonna do something. So you go to speak with Clementine again. We'll say, because it sounds like that's what you're asking. You want the DM to.
No, I was trying to talk to the people.
Okay, that's fine. I'll hands off. You guys can just talk amongst yourselves.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, Oris is fine with the hunt or continuing the other investigation. He wasn't involved in the gray people thing. He has really no idea what that's about. So
I can hear you, but you're all like really quiet. I don't know if that's just me or not, but
If it matters, I have Oris cranked on Discord, whereas everybody else is.
fun.
It's not a big deal. You sound normal to me if I have you at 200.
I have him at 200, and it still is kind of quiet, honestly. But
I'm I'm just thinking that the best option is owl bears, and because I don't think we have any other quest lines open at the moment.
I mean, those two that we just named, but
You do have more, but it's that's why I was going to mention Clementine telling you about them. But that's fine. If you guys want to get a recap, you can find her and speak to her.
And the other option, of course, is to go outside the city for and check to see if the Black Fang has come back to. It's been over a day, and he said that he'd be back. He'd be back in a day or so to see if he's
Yeah,
uh
check. I feel like he'll let us know when he's back, but we can go outside and just see.
uh
So he kind of implied
So-
a time he would be returning, like kind of like I'll be back in a day. Like he didn't mean I'll be back after some amount of time. That's somewhat of a day. He meant like military. I will be back in 24 hours type deal.
Is it
So yeah, if you guys head out there, since you guys spent a little time in the morning, which kind of, if you remember, the day before you had done that one fight with the Revenant. So
Yeah.
it was a little bit later in the day. Yeah, it's appropriately timed for you to potentially go see him if that's what you guys want to go do.
yeah, let's start with that before we go to Clementine, so we don't lose track of that.
Yep.
Oris agrees. I don't know if my volume is better. I haven't changed anything, so
I put you at 100, so, and I can still hear you. Do you mind just talking again so I can check you to the stream?
no, I refuse to talk. I will not say any more words on this matter.
Still
Period.
super
End of
quiet.
story.
I do have to bring you up a little bit to get you in the yellow, but it's not the same as before.
Weird.
It's the
I
same exact for me. I
didn't
don't-
change anything since ever, so
Well, you'll just be the strong, quiet type. The whispering monk. I don't know. I have technical issues with my stuff all the time, even when I don't touch it. Stuff just breaks on me, and I get screwed all the time. And I'm like, what is going on? Why cannot life just be...
I'll blame Windows. I don't know.
I would blame Windows, yeah. Microsoft just, they're like, we're going to release a fridge and call it the X fridge, and then we're going to just screw with Windows 10 specifically to affect this stream. Okay, yeah, so you guys head out of town, back to where you had spoken with him, where you're expecting the Black Fang to show up. And you wait a good, 10, 15 minutes, and you get the feeling that he's late. And you don't know when he's going to be back. I know I just meta told you what he meant he would be back, but now that you're there waiting for him, you get this sense of maybe something's happened because he's not back in time, back to his original estimates. And yeah, there's no one there. You're just out there hanging out.
Yeah. Message Whimsy?
I'm sorry?
Can we message Whimsy, guys?
We need the coin. Fjorn has it.
I'm okay with you guys borrowing it from him if that's what you want.
Don't we have to make the blood pact thing too? It's like the lucky coin, the +1 thing.
Yeah, to attune with it. I pictured it like it just needed that to turn on, and then it would just work with whoever wanted to use it. But yeah, that's more fun to say that Oris had to cut his thumb and put a little blood on it. I mean, that's more fun if you guys want to do that.
How about Maze doing it? Oris has no sharp tools.
He has his teeth like Naruto.
I guess I do have the wood carving tools, so that's not true.
Oh, yeah, sure, okay. I don't know Whimsy, but I'll cut my finger, put my blood on thing,
Awesome.
and be like,
Nobody met her in person other than Oris or Fjorn. So.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's the only one who's spoke with her psychically. So, yeah, you guys are gonna be a little bit unfamiliar with her, but I feel like she would have known. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Come on, DM, make it work. Yes.
I message her and I just say, "Hi, my name's Nate. I'm a friend of Fjorn and Oris, and I think you know them."
You hear as soon as you feel your brain connect with something, and you don't hear a response immediately back, but you do hear noises in your mind. You hear the movement of feet shuffling and maybe some things being clanged around. You hear glass on glass a bit and some metal on metal. a little bit of bubbling and whatnot, and you hear some panting, some like. Sorry, were you gonna?
Oh, I was just telling the other guy. I think she might be out of the office, guys.
After just like a couple moments of this, which as your body as your mind adjusts to the sensation that you are not familiar with, you finally hear Whimsy speak up. Oh, hello. Who are you? Welcome to. I don't know if she says welcome to your mind. I don't know. Don't question the DM.
I'm not. Hey, did you hear what I said before? Or?
Yes. Fjorn, your friend. You're the adventuring group with Fjorn, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just a little detained. Things are very busy where I am. What's wrong? Is Fjorn okay?
Are you guys coming to? Is the front of the army advancing into the Elflands?
I believe I told that to Fjorn. Did he not pass that? Yes, we are moving northward.
How far are you?
Far from the camp originally. It's been a few days now. It's slow moving. They have to they have to disenchant the lands and then move forward. I don't get to see it personally where they have me working. I don't get much daylight.
Can I ask why you're part of this army of people?
Well, I mean, we all have our commitments.
That's not really an answer.
Why do you do the things you do? Those are good questions.
It doesn't feel like the war is warranted, is all.
I mean, you don't have to believe in a war to be forced to be part of it. You guys were part of the war effort as well. I appreciate your choices to leave.
Are you being forced to be a part of it?
I shouldn't say any more. There are listening ears. Yes, I am completely loyal. She says, and it's almost like she's not talking to you for a second, just like yelling it into the room, and then she returns.
Wait, are you talking out loud?
Yeah, you are as well.
Oh, okay.
That's how Fjorn was doing it.
I thought you were talking to your brain or something. Okay, yeah, no, I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I'm just curious why you think the war is necessary.
Do I think the war is necessary? I don't know. That's a good question. Is any war necessary?
Okay, cool. Well, I'm concerned about a friend of mine. He's I don't know how I describe him. I'll just describe how he looks, like a ranger or something. He went down to see about the war front because we were worried what might be happening. I don't know I guess you don't know what's going on down there, really.
I mean, I don't have. I can help you as best I can, but they don't give me battle plans.
Well, I'm meaning the person. You haven't seen him.
The person you described? No, I haven't. I'm sorry.
Great.
They do have me working on things right now. They demand. I haven't created it in a long time. I haven't even heard of it spoken in some time. They have me making alchemic oils for enchantments. I didn't even know that those kinds of enchantments were still being made. I find it fascinating, but any chance to work with those things is yes, I would like 2 bags of that ash, please. I'm sorry. You hear her clanging things and continuing to work some more. while she's speaking to you.
All right, I'm gonna turn to you guys for a second. Cover the coin. So yeah, I don't know really. She doesn't know anything else. Although she might have alchemical oils, which would be cool. But we
Ask her how. Ask her how if she knows anyone else who, or how difficult it would be to, or how if there's literally any other source than her,
for al
because we're looking for it.
Any other source of alchemic oil?
How can we
Right.
make it?
If we were to look for it from literally anyone else, how hard would it be? Does she think?
I'll ask her in a minute. But as for stuff with the Black Fang, uh, I don't know. I mean, I guess we can wait a little bit longer. I'm sure it'll be, he might just take longer than he expected, but I don't want to wait like a week and find out he's dead and the army's at the front door,
That would be yeah. That's why. Yeah. As I've been saying, these people don't.
I mean,
Okay. All right. Scenario. You go. You go.
we can go try to talk to the guy again. I mean, we don't have the whatever on us anymore, so.
I'd rather not. I'd rather have proof than just assertions, because these people would rather not accept reality than.
That's the reason why they didn't listen to us before. It was because we were like cursed or whatever the hell by their stupid god.
Yes, but yes.
That was the main reason. I mean, they might have not. They might have still been like, okay, well, you guys are just strangers, but at the very least, now we've shown that we can come back from being what we were and try to just. I don't know.
Yes,
We
but
can-
now they're gonna think, oh, they got a war hero killed in the meantime. This is not looking good.
He's not a war hero, and they don't know anything about him.
Who, the Black Fang?
Yeah.
I mean, May knows he's a war hero.
The other people don't think of him as a war hero.
Okay, sorry. I misunderstood what you were saying.
I know the people don't. He didn't. Why do you think he's not going into the city? Nobody wants him to be there for some reason. He hasn't really made that clear why. But that's why we didn't even talk about him being part of our people.
But I was going off of your cube way back in the day that he's a war hero.
Right,
Oh.
but no. But do you think that they think of him as a war hero?
He could. I was just assuming that he had some variation of PTSD. That he doesn't like people, and something like that.
I think it was pretty obvious they don't want him to be there. But
I thought it was he didn't want to be around people, but
well, either way, we don't. There's no reason for them to think that we sent him off to his death unless we tell them that for some reason.
well, how would we? Well, I was thinking the conversation would go like this: Hey, hey, Mr. General, you know that thing we were telling you about the army, like on your doorstep? Well, we asked the Black Thing to go check it out. He did. He's not come back, and we think he's dead.
You're assuming we throw ourselves under the bus?
Well, how else would we get him to take it seriously?
We
Can
just
you run the conversation by me in a way that doesn't get him to take it seriously and does not throw us under the bus?
we walk up, they say, "Oh, okay, what's up?" And after we make sure they understand we're not cursed anymore or whatever, we go, "So we still have reason to believe, based on one of our contacts, that the people, if you would maybe send anyone just to go scout it out, we really don't want this town to be destroyed by a war." We basically say the exact same thing as before. Now we actually are at least at base level of respect instead of having a lack of respect.
Okay. That works.
Definitely be like, "Oh, there's definitely a war now," but at least they can send their own scouts out.
Yes, but again, when they find the Black Fang's dead body, without his, what are they gonna make of that?
that the war's worse. I don't know that the war's real. Like they don't have any reason to believe that we sent the Black Thing off to his death, which we didn't even do anyways. He said that he chose of his own accord to go down there. Like I feel like we have a friendship bracelet or something that's on his wrist, that's not also on our wrists.
Yes, but we got rid of our first situation through him.
But they don't know that. Remember, they
And
don't really.
how did we get rid of him? He is literally the only way that makes sense.
I don't think it matters to them.
Mm, it kind of does.
To us, maybe, but to them, it doesn't. They just are like, oh, they. If
If they launch an investigation, we become suspects.
in murdering the Black Fang, you're way overthinking this. I don't, Oris, what do you think? I feel like it makes sense to me. What do you think?
Yeah, sorry. I kind of was distracted here. Sorry. So I
All
missed
right.
part of that conversation.
I think that we should go back, and now that we have whatever, I don't remember what it was called, the mange whelp thing, now we're normal people, basically. That if we go back to them and tell them, okay, hey, we still think that this is a problem based on whatever knowledge. We don't have a lot of information going except for Whimsy, but we can basically tell them that and ask them to hopefully send, their own scouts out or something like that.
Yeah, you could try and convince them. We had this problem with the last Elven village where they just didn't care. So, Horus is like,
I mean, there's soldiers. The other village didn't have that. They were clearly more apathetic.
fair enough. Yeah, we could try. Did anyone ask Whimsy how to make alchemical oil, or are you still on the
I guess we're still.
hypothetical phone with her?
She was banging pots around. I can check and see if. I seriously doubt we're gonna be able to make alchemical oil. I'm assuming there's gonna be something.
Or acquire it if she knows of any other suppliers.
Okay, Hey, are you back yet, Mimsy?
It takes a second for you to reconnect. You hear the. Sorry, 1 second. I just want to make sure that I'm worried that my mic is not working very well on the stream right now, but that's okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it takes a second. You hear you reconnect mentally. Again, it feels strange to you. It's an odd sensation. It's not something you're familiar with. And as you connect in, you hear her shuffling and banging and clanging. And after a brief second, she starts speaking again. Oh, yes. Hi, May, was it?
Yep.
Hi, welcome.
Hey, do you know of anywhere we could get alchemical oils besides going back to where you're at right now?
You require it as well?
It'd be nice, yeah.
Interesting. I find that quite fascinating. Maybe Fjorn has found a very powerful enchanter? Are you some form of experimenter of magics?
No, we've found a recipe that requires it. We're just
A recipe. Fancy. Do you mind me asking what language?
I don't remember. Elven or something? What was it?
It was Elven, I think.
It was writing itself, right?
An elf.
Yes, it required you know a language, and it required you have the ritual casting ability. And
Oh, Sylvan, that one?
indeed. Oh, Sylvan, very very interesting. Have you done anything with alchemic oil yet?
No. We don't have any.
No. Okay.
I was just curious because you mentioned it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have even asked. You were like saying it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's actually something that.
Sorry, are you meaning? Is this a slip of the mind, or are you meaning to lie to her?
Wait, no, it's a slip of the. I guess. Do we have alchemical oil somehow?
You used it once, yes. You've used the book to create something already.
Oh, we used
Yeah.
a book. Did it need alchemical oil?
It did,
before?
yes. The first
Oh,
time
it
did.
did?
Know that.
And
Yeah.
you
okay.
found it
Oh.
when you found the book.
Yeah, we did. We found some with the book, I guess.
with hags.
I didn't remember that either.
It was
The
actually the
hag-
owlbear fight is where you found it.
Yeah, it was perfect. It wasn't the hags.
Oh yeah.
It was. I don't
And,
know. It was,
then that's what you had, the feathers from the owlbear, and you needed owlbear feathers, blood, the armor, and the alchemic oil. But you found the alchemic oil with the book, and so you were able to perform the ritual immediately.
so we didn't have it on ourselves for long. Okay, so yeah, we've seen it before, but it wasn't like supplying or something.
That's quite impressive. That's quite. You must be skilled. Someone with you must have some skills.
I can speak Sylvan, and we know how to do magic, so not.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You know, have you heard of the Highmark Guild? I feel like she hasn't specifically mentioned the Highmark Guild to you guys yet.
I haven't. I don't know. I don't know anything about the human lands.
I recommend looking for other members. They're a little eccentric. You know what? I spoke with Fjorn. He mentioned someone that might be able to help you. That you have already encountered. She stops to do something else again, and you hear her yelling nondescript, a language you're not even familiar with, out the door, or possibly just into the room. You guys don't really remember this, but she used to do this even when Fjorn met her in person. She is very scatterbrained and all over the place, so I'm not just doing it to be annoying, that's whimsy. But as she snaps back into talking to you again...
Can I ask what language she was speaking? Or is it, I don't know, I have a few different languages. I don't have Gnomish or anything. But...
You don't recognize it as... It's either not a language in the D&D manuals, or it's not a language you know.
Okay.
Yes, sorry. The rat woman? Did you know her? Did you meet her? She is also a member. You could speak with her. She might be able to help you.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. What is this guild you're talking about?
Well, the symbol on the coin, those symbols, if you see them, they belong to the Highmark Guild.
Okay, so they're not just humans?
Just humans? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
The guild. I mean, we've found those symbols either written in with Elvish words or other things, and in the Elflands. So.
Well, it's not too hard to learn a language. You know a few, don't you?
Okay. So there are. I don't know. That's why I'm asking the question. Are they all?
Well, you know at least one of them is a gnome, because the rat woman was gnome.
The rat woman was a no. So what is the guild? Is it some kind of like over? What is it?
You also have memory of... I'm just going to do some recapping of stuff, just because I know some of this is old. You remember when you were in the well, and when you met that altar, she didn't divulge the information of the Highmark Guild then. She just mentioned it was a group of people who like to help adventurers. It's possible that's... She just didn't want to give you the name, and is now trusting you guys further, possibly because you've mentioned being skilled with magic and enchantments yourself, that maybe she's willing to go a little further and express...
So is this the group of people you were talking about before that help adventurers or something?
Well, yes. We try to be helpful as we can. That's why I gave you this coin. I thought you guys could use my help.
Okay, well... if you ever have any contacts you think that might be useful to us, give us a call or something.
Is there someone specifically you're looking for?
Not really right now. I mean, I guess if you know of anyone with alchemical oils, or you know of anyone in the Elflands, or really anyone even that maybe needs our help.
Does the rest of the party have anyone they are looking for?
Hekrin? Is that what you're talking about?
Ekram.
It's up to you. You can ask her if you
Ekram.
like. It's up to you.
Ekram.
You don't know. You don't know her reaction if you say that name.
Okay, Heckram, I guess, is a person we're looking for.
I'm sorry if I'm like railroading you. I just wanted to. I feel like if you miss it because you forgot, then it might be on me a little. But maybe I should just allow you two guys stumble around. Anyways, Heckram. Oh, do you know him?
No, but we're looking for him.
Oh. Well, many do. Many do, that's for certain. How did you how did you discover his name?
Well, there's a few different things. We have some dice that were created by him, as well as we were told about him by some of the priests of Saloon.
Have you used those dice?
Yeah.
If you get any, the coins, the tokens are very useful. You should definitely get more. The Highmark Guild will respect them as currency.
The tokens?
Well, I won't say any more. Half the fun is the surprises.
Okay. But so do you know where
Heckram, yes. I'm not certain if you would want to be found. Generally, he finds you.
Well, maybe let him know that we're looking.
I can do my best. Yes, I could let him know. I could try. Again, he's a powerful man. You can almost feel, you can hear her heart fluttering in your mind somehow. It's like the oddest thing you're like, how do I feel, hear, sense in my mind this thing? But you like, for some reason, as strange as it is, it's also directly obvious what it is in your mind at the same time. And she seems like nervous and possibly she finds this person attractive either because they're powerful or because they're attractive. You're not sure. But she flusters and has trouble getting her words out.
Well, anyways, I'm assuming he's part of this guild?
Yes. Some might even say he is the guild.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, dude, I don't know I don't know that much about it. I don't know that much about you, but this guild sounds like something that might be a good ally of ours. So if you can put the word out that we're looking for him,
definitely,
that we would like to speak with him at the very least. That's all I can say.
She speaks. You hear this low guttural. She says something. She says something in a language. Do you speak Abyssal?
I don't think so.
So you don't recognize this language either. She says something. It's almost like she switches from talking to you and just says something like almost low and growly, like. And then she comes back. Sorry about that. Sorry, I just had something to take care of.
Is that the one that Oris knows, or
Oris does know Abyssal, yeah.
Could I maybe make like a intelligence check or something? Because that's the one that he's teaching me. I don't know how much I know at all of the language.
Sure.
But
Sure.
The word.
Yeah, go for it. You can roll. I don't know, general intelligence, I guess.
Oh.
First roll of the game. We're an hour in almost. You pick up the word. It sounds like it's one of the first things you learn with the language because it's like a sign of groveling or like it's not really respect. It's more like if you're a lesser demon and you don't want to be killed, it's like the first thing that you would say to like introduce yourself. There are other languages even in real life that have a similar thing where like it's like almost like sir or like some sign of like, except it's not sir because demons don't believe in like a system of laws or hierarchy. It's just like a level. It's just chaos. So it's more like a word of like, please don't kill me. Now let me speak.
Submission.
Yeah, it's almost like a dog rolling over and showing its belly kind of thing. That's the only thing you pick up. You don't recognize the context or even what she was talking about. Just that level of submissiveness in her language, which was like one of the first things Oris started teaching you, because if you're going to speak Abyssal to somebody, you usually start by doing that. And I've just made that up. That's canon now in our story.
That makes sense.
Unless you're stupidly powerful.
Well, yeah, if you're more powerful than someone, but if you're
Then you don't have to. You can just say you would skip it, and then it would be intimidating immediately.
Right.
So it's like the culture of demons is kind of embedded in the language, and
So I guess that's all I have to say, unless somebody else wants to remind me of something.
Oh, that sounds good.
Thanks. I guess I will. We'll message. We'll text you later.
okay, thank you.
Oh.
I hope to hear from you soon. I'm glad you're all well. Take care of Fionn for me.
Yeah, we will.
Thank
Peace.
you. And yes, and then you almost sense like she's walking away from you, and then it cuts out.
Well, yeah. I'm not sure. I guess, I mean, next time we can try to talk to the rat lady when we see her again. I'm gonna just assume she'll have some on her. I don't know where else we're gonna be able to find it. I mean, this guild sounds like it might be interesting to learn more about them.
Yeah. I'm assuming you relate most of what you heard.
Yeah.
And I think that's super dodgy.
What is?
Hecarim is the guild, and she's speaking Abyssal.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely seems like there might be something bad going on with the guild, or they're under the wrong form of leadership. But that's cool. We'll take them out eventually. Like that's not. We don't.
Yeah.
There's no way we can do anything about it now. But that's on my to-do list for sure.
Yeah, like I'm saying this as I think this is super. I think that they're useful for now. We'll keep up with this. But yeah, super dodgy. But we've aligned with them for at least for the time being.
Just gotta plant those. I already know that Falstar has like he is already concerned in like all kinds of ways, and so to leave a little seed, like I just love watching the reactions from you guys.
So
and yeah, so this conversation took another like however many 10, maybe even 20 minutes, considering real life it took us that long. And you're still waiting for the Black Fang. You still see no evidence of him.
Okay.
So I think there's two options. Either we just go and we look ourselves, or we try to have them send out a scouting party.
Here's an interesting idea. Excuse me. I think that the simplest option to start with is that I can I can I think we should
I agree. You should.
I'm going to send a I'm going to use minor illusion
Okay.
to make a image of the Black Fang's wolf in somewhere nearby in the and see if it creates a response.
Okay.
From who?
Wait, you're doing
what?
what?
I'm going to create a minor illusion of the Black Fang's wolf.
Okay. I think I understand. I think I get what you're trying to do with this. It's possible I don't. So if you wanted to, like, after I tell you what happens, you can be like, well, this is what I thought would happen, and then maybe you jog my memory and I realize that something has been amiss. But I'm pretty sure I get what you're trying to do with this. And
What are you trying to do?
well, we can discuss it after. Let me tell you. I just like
There's a wolf on there's a wolf.
Yeah, there's a wolf there, and then you wait to see if anyone reacts to its existence there, and there isn't any. Maybe you
Okay.
can better explain. I think I know what you were going for, but you can explain it.
I wanted to see if maybe the Black Fang was hiding or ill or needed help, and this was just
Okay.
like
So
hey,
this was like your code word to be like, no, it's safe to come out. Like you can trust us.
yeah.
Okay. And
I'm
no,
gonna,
there was no response.
I'm gonna say you can trust us.
Yes, I did.
I don't know.
Um,
Why are you making his wolf? I don't understand.
I was trying to let him know that hey, we're still friendlies. You can come out if you're here.
I don't think
Um,
here, honestly. But here's the thing is we might even be able to, even though I guess you're super worried about telling them, but I think we could even, get one of their diviners and maybe we could go with that one lady.
mm,
She might be able to sense him. But instead of sending her by herself because she might just die or something like maybe he has, we'd go with her and we'd have a better chance of getting away. Or at the very least, just send multiple scouts, not one person by themselves. Because, you know,
So what's the
sure. Let's do
plan?
that.
What's the plan, guys? It
Let's
sounds
do
like you're
that.
saying a lot of good stuff.
Let's go back and try and convince them to let's go back and try and convince them that hey, we found out that they've made even more progress. I wish that she'd given us literally any landmark, but
yeah.
she's indoors.
Okay, so we'll go back. I wave at Fjorn, and we'll
So you're
we'll
going to the academy to try to speak with the military again?
with that guy or the lady, either one of them.
The lady.
Okay, so you arrive at the academy. You do see Fjorn is actually. The last time you went there, there was a person giving drills, and that's the person you first spoke to. This time around, you actually see Fjorn is there, and I'll control him for now because he never says much, anyways. But he's the one overseeing the drills here, and you even see Rim is in the group, and they're just like doing like basic calisthenics and stuff in the yard right now. And so
Wait,
you waved. You actually, I know you were joking, but you actually do wave to Fjord and say hi, and he turns
yeah.
to you.
Hi. But
Hello.
yeah, we'll go for. I don't know what this place looks like. Is there somewhere where there'd be somebody in charge or?
You're looking for the captain.
Yeah.
Fjorn very rarely asks questions, but I guess I have to because I'm the. He stepped out. There's
Oh,
something. They seem. Something seems to be going on. He's not here right now.
okay.
Commander, I guess he would have been the commander or whatever. The high ranked official in this area. He's not at the academy right now.
Does he
Oh,
know where we can find him, or
I don't care that much.
Sorry?
I'll just wait outside for him or something. I don't know what you guys want to do, but
would Fjorn know where we can find him? Did he leave any information?
We don't get that information from the higher ups. He would actually. I guess Fjorn would just say no. He wouldn't actually. He wouldn't explain. He would just say no. I'm talking. I'm giving you too much as the DM. Whereas if I messaged M. Burke the information, which I've done a few times now, he would just say his character would just say no. I have no idea. He would just be very blunt about it.
all right. Well, we'll just wait for him then, I guess.
For Black Fang or the commander?
Uh,
No, for the leader guy. I mean, we're waiting for Black Thing too, but I'm meaning this guy. I'll just sit outside in the front on a bench and study my spellbook.
What if
Okay.
he has somehow communicated with Black Fang already and he's dealing with this war problem, or he's
that's
already
probably what it
trying to
is.
set up a
Because
search party, or
Well, do you
maybe we
have
should
any other way of finding this guy? Because I don't.
we
That's
could
all.
ask We could ask others. I don't know, in the town, Clementine, or I don't know who else would be associated with.
Yeah.
There would be this, so the academy would be a little bit larger if you're curious about the academy. Like, this is not just like one place. There would be more soldiers like in Fjorn's position doing training with other people, but you suspect that they're all going to be at the same ranking level and probably have the same information about the situation.
Wouldn't a commander leave somebody else in charge? I guess maybe you wouldn't tell him what he's doing.
It's just an academy. I mean, it's not like...
Is there a military place we can go to? Because, I mean, I don't really care about the academy that much. I just need to find somebody in charge or something.
Or
you could try. You could try looking... Okay, some places in the town... if you want me to just... or I guess actually you're going to have to ask somebody, I guess. I shouldn't just be telling you. I should...
Where can we find military commanders to the first person I see?
Sure. So you interrupt one of the guys like doing his kinesthetics, and he stands up. Sorry, what do you need? And then, like he looks at Fjorn for a second, and Fjorn just nods, and he looks back and continues to talk to you.
Somebody outside. I'm not going to interrupt.
Oh, sure. You just want to find someone on the street?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. So, relatively busy street, middle of the day. Yeah, you're able to find, like, there's elvish people walking by. What are you looking for? Are you looking for just anybody? Just a man, a woman, a couple of friends, maybe? What do you want?
In person, elf woman. I walk up there and
so you make sure, you're like, okay. You creepily look around, wait for one elf woman to be by herself, and then you're like, yes, that's who I'm going to go approach. And you steal her purse and take all of her Werther's originals. No,
okay.
You just go up and you say hi like you want to. Oh, hi, how are you? Oh, sorry, how are you, my child?
Yeah, okay, let's move on from that. I'm looking for the military commanders of the city.
Military commanders?
Yeah.
There's no crime here. There's no war or crime here in El Nuain. What could be the issue?
I don't know why you can't just answer.
Clutches her pearls a little.
Do you know where they would be?
You'll have to be a little more specific. You're just asking for people in charge of the just important people in general?
Whether it be politics or military, somebody in charge.
Sure. I mean, you could go to the town hall, I suppose.
All right, where's that?
This was something I was going to give it to you, but I mean, this was something that I think I mentioned back at the beginning was a place that you could go when you guys first entered the
Yeah, I remember.
City. There's a city hall, yeah. They normally throw, well, not like every day, but there's like a massive plaza in front of it where they would do their festivals and parades and stuff in front of the city hall. As she mentions it to you, you're reminded of in the past bunch of days, Clementine's pointed out some major places in town, and yeah, you know where that is.
Cool. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, my child.
I roll my eyes and walk away. Not to her, just like after I turn away.
Yeah, for sure. Just respect. No, I'm just kidding. She doesn't know you did it.
Damn it, I'm a mange whelp again. Okay, let's go.
Well, you could have said I'm honor-clad, and maybe she would have been even more respectful of you.
Oh, that's the name for it. I guess I can say that next time. Okay, let's go to the town hall.
Is everyone going with you?
Yeah, Oris will just nod his thanks at the person
Okay.
May just talk to, and with a little more respectful smile, and continue following May, who's clearly on some sort of mission.
I understand why they always call me a kid.
You haven't asked.
No, I'm talking to the other players.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why they keep calling me a kid. I know what I'm doing.
I'm going to, nah, that's be a waste. I had half of my...
You're just going to cast a 3rd level spell for the fun of it?
No, I was going to,
If we learned anything from that small game we played of Mine of Pendelver, maybe reserve your healing spell slots for the big boss fight.
Also, maybe take rest before we go into the
Yeah,
situation.
yeah. You guys could have chosen to take a rest at some point. There was information on what would happen if you guys wanted to take a rest somewhere.
Sleep.
Yeah, that was absolutely a cluster. That was a
Wait,
mess.
you remember the other game?
Yeah,
The
Okay, anyway,
Pendelver game, yeah.
I don't need to sleep right now. Let's go.
yeah, that was such a mess.
I mean, to be fair, a long rest is a bit much, but you could have probably got away with it, yeah. Short rest would have been a piece of cake, but you guys didn't really need it. Anyways, that's another world, another universe. Let's go back to this one.
What do we
right.
there?
I'm going to just follow behind and oh, question. Was that woman with gray disease?
The woman that May stopped to speak to, no.
Okay.
She did not have gray skin. You're starting to get a little better feel for elves, and you're you're like certain it was an Ava elf.
Oh,
Huh.
If you guys care, I know that's something you've been asking once in a while, and I keep telling you don't know the culture well enough yet. But you guys have been there for like 3 or 4 days or something now, and you're starting to pick up on the like intricacies of the elven culture. I'll let you know if you meet someone who's not Ava.
Interesting.
what?
Rim, for example, not an Ava elf. When you guys went and saw him doing his calisthenics.
I think I am getting a handle on what Ava Health is now. Good to know. Excellent. 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 Good to know.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Yeah, you guys travel through town, and you've eventually come to the big city center building. I think you guys even learned a little bit of the inner workings of this. You learned that, yeah, so you're allowed to just go in the front doors. No one is going to stop you. And when you do, you notice at reception is someone that you're vaguely familiar with. You can't put your finger on it, but you're like, have I met this person before? I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. When you figure out what I'm talking about, you might be able to correct me. I think it's a male Ava elf with gray skin.
Oh, yeah, this is the person who I asked questions of.
That said he had like a low level political job.
Yes.
Oh, hi there.
Hello, welcome.
Hey, we need to talk to somebody in charge of the military. I don't know if you have the name of the other guy, but I'll describe him or the woman and the woman.
Start shifting through some papers for a sec. You wish to see the people in the. Do you have an appointment?
We'd like to make one.
I think.
Well, I mean, too.
I'll be honest. Things have been a little hectic this morning. Some big news came in. I'm not sure what, and people have been just. Oh, I haven't seen people that eager to get things done and work in quite some time. But if you're looking to make an appointment with, I don't know what his name is, whoever is the in charge person that you're asking about, I'll worry about their name some other time. It will probably be out for the day, or maybe later. I honestly, I don't know too much.
Find out what kind of news came in.
It seemed important. It's been years since I've seen everyone bustling around, running, and even as you're talking, you see. So I'll describe the room a bit more because why not? So you come into this like foyer area. It's got like nice carpeting, and he's in like a kiosky like desky area, and so the foyer is big enough. It has some like waiting chairs and stuff, but then like down the center is that carpet that I'm talking about, and then it opens up as you go like maybe 30, 40, 50 feet down this foyer. It opens up, like you can't see because it goes left and right, but to like the rest of the large political building, there's like there's like a big mural on the wall, and I guess I'm taking a step into the modern almost as how I'm picturing this political building. And as you're speaking, you see a person rush by with some papers down that way. Oh yes, they seem active today. Something has a bee in their bonnet, I tell you, my child.
So are we not allowed to like go talk to them?
I mean, I don't recommend bursting into people's offices, but you're all allowed to walk through the building if you want. Sure.
Okay, I'm just gonna start walking in the hallway then.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. He does something, and he hands each of you. I don't know. I was gonna call it a badge, but it can't be on like a lanyard or anything. That doesn't make sense. So instead, because this is a fantasy universe, he just asks you each to hold out your the top of your hand towards him. I'm assuming you guys do. You can tell me if you don't want to, but whoever is the first one willing to do it, he rubs something, like it has like a lavender scent on it, maybe on your palm, or on the back of your hand, and he says, "Yeah, you're good now." You assume that it's similar to possibly how they determine if you're a mage whelp or not. That somehow this magically will allow you visitor access while you're here.
Okay.
Yeah, Oris is fine with it as well.
Okay, yeah, no problem. She just, yeah. You can say no if you want. I've already done it. You guys are all. I gave you guys a badge so you could go in. Yeah, you're free to go in. It's just for flavor, anyways.
Okay. Yeah, I'll skip in.
Smells good.
I guess we go down the hallway.
Sure, yeah. So as you come to the like where it opens up a bit, again you can see that there are people rushing around. They seem busy. Some of them, you even see like a soldier or two.
Is the one guy that was running? Do we see where he went to?
Sure. So, I mean, I'll be honest. I did not make a map for this place, so you guys are catching me a little bit on the DM. Do your job. Just do it. Just do it. Make your brain go and have the things happen. So, bear with me as I construct this building from scratch in my mind. So yeah. So as you approach like the mural area, you notice you can go to the left or to the right, and the man that had run by was going to the left area. You also notice that down the hallways there are some like doors and stuff, possibly to people's personal offices, and you see people rushing around. No one necessarily. As you're there, you see another person just pass by you. This person doesn't rush. This person's just kind of like in a reasonable walk and doesn't seem to pay any mind to you as they go by.
So, did the person with the papers go into a particular doorway we saw, or
you know they went to the left, but you don't know beyond that.
I'll follow them. Can we see where they're going, or no?
By the time you get there, they're gone. They were rushing. They were moving through quickly. They've either gone into one of the rooms or continued on, and I guess if you go down the hallways onto the left or the right, they would turn, and there would be twists and turns, and at this point I'm going to just say that you guys are in the building, and you can explore it like you would exploring the town in general. I don't have every alleyway and thoroughfare mapped out, but if you are looking for something in specific, we can do some rolls or have you guys just spend time investigating. And
this person that's walking by, I'll like try to like kind of keep up with them, and I'll just say, hey, what do you do here?
They slow their pace but don't stop and allow you to keep walking with them. Hi, visitors today. This is not a good time.
We were here because we've been trying to let people know about an invasion. It's been a project we've been trying to get through.
An invasion.
We haven't been allowed to because of reasons that we finally be able to get past, and we finally be able to get to the point where we can actually talk about it. And apparently, it's a bad time to let you know about it again. And if you aren't able to take our message again, we'll just move on to another town and tell them there.
Well, as soon as he hears some of the like keywords of what you just said, he stops moving and he snaps his fingers, and you see like another person who was rushing around come running up. Yes, take this down. Sorry, you have information on an invasion.
Yeah, we've been trying to tell you people for days now.
And you are. And then as he's pausing, without even giving you a chance to speak, the potentially intern-esque person that's supposed to be jotting things down says, Sir, I believe they are the adventurers that the Clementine has been bringing around. Clementine?
Yeah.
Do I know that name? I'm sorry, you can interrupt. Yeah, what was?
We're the people who came over. We're honor-clad. We came over because we
Straightens up a little when he hears that.
we came over because they were not abiding by any normal rules of war. They were specifically targeting civilians, and I think that there's some sort of Mazgate cult fueling the war effort because of some investigations we did there. Are
you getting all this down? Scribbling. Like when you said honor-clad, he looks over and then the like little like gopher is just like nodding, and he's like, oh, okay, yes.
And on some of the things we found out in the camp, and some of the things we found out on the way here, and some of the things we found out, and we know because of someone we know there, we've been in communication with. We know that they've been traveling at a very fast pace because they have a spellcaster who's been dispelling the plant growth.
They both seem a little concerned, like a little. Their eyes go wide as you say these things.
We're trying to tell you, but nobody would listen to us, and we're finally being able to. And we asked. We told the Black Fang, and he said he would go check it out.
The Black Fang, you say? The Black Fang.
Yeah. He wasn't there, so we asked him to check it out. He said he'd be back this morning. He wasn't there, but he said it. There are several Shadowfell temples in the general vicinity of the path or several Shadowfell portals on the vicinity. So we're assuming that they are going to have access to them. So you should probably be aware that they are going to have reinforcements for the Shadowfell. So we're just and the Mazgate cult. This Mazgate cult is known as the Gloom Ilk. And if you have a piece of paper, there's you can draw this tattoo that they have on their chest. I think it's their chest.
This is a lot of information.
Yes,
do you mind making? I don't feel pressured by this. Do you mind making a performance check for me?
Oh boy!
It's a performance, and I'll explain why after I see the roll.
23.
Yes, 23. So the only reason I stop you is because I know as a bard, as much as in characters you are explaining all these things, I like to imagine that you're saying it in almost a sing-song. Like you can't help but turn it into like a ballad as you're explaining it. And you also notice beyond the roll, I was going to give you this anyways, but the roll's really good. By the time you are like this far into your explanation of what's going on, you notice that there's a lot more people around you. That it's not just the two of them anymore. You're in the middle of like your performance mind, and as you kind of look around again, and you notice that Oris and May and yourself now have like a small crowd of people that are all listening to you guys attentively.
And I'd also like to, while I'm doing this, I'm going to draw the glue milk sign on a piece of paper. You know, like this.
You can do it with minor illusion if you want to be awesome.
Yes, but I want to be able to hand it off to them.
Oh, okay, fine. But wouldn't it be cooler if you made the image and let the gopher write it down?
Yeah, I'm a minor illusionist.
I mean, you can definitely write it down if you want, but they are recording everything you're saying and doing.
I'm going to show that.
Yeah, so
I'm also going to show the face of Corin.
Of Corbin? Yeah, for sure.
Corbin,
yeah,
I'm going to show his
you can
face.
give them that information.
Because
definitely.
I said, you
And they're
know that
writing,
this
they're
person-
scribbling everything down. One of them's like, run away.
person-
He's like, get more pencil. They're running off to get like more things to write with, or quills, I guess, quills.
This person is extremely dangerous. We don't. And he has a sword that is extremely dangerous. We don't know. We suspect that he is high ranking in this group, and we have not seen evidence of. They claim that they have infiltrated both sides, but we haven't found any we haven't found any elves who have this mark, but they claim that they've infiltrated both sides. So, who can say?
Does either of the other two players want to add anything?
No, Oris just enjoys the conversation.
Yeah,
This
I
is-
think that's probably most of it.
I'm sorry.
I think that's most of it.
Okay. He kind of took charge, and I thought I would I'd give a little flavor twist to it. Why you guys might even just sit there and let him go, because he kind of like started performing and making a big show of it. They write down all this information. Some people even like write some stuff down and then immediately take off. Like they have to go let somebody else know the information that you've said.
Like it's a Mazgate cult, but they're like,
They're like, well now, I know that word, and then
they're like
scurrying about.
Why would someone be a Mazgate cultist? That's so stupid. Like that kind of thing.
Yes.
Doubt it. They're probably just scared of that.
Like, why would you even do that?
Okay, so once we're done, he sends people off or whatever. What is their response to it?
He reacts by how can I do this? So he takes something out of his pocket, and he no, you know what? He doesn't even bother doing that. That doesn't make sense now that I think about it. I guess he just says, "Is that everything? Is that all the information you have?"
That's everything that I can think of offhand. If you have specific questions, I will be happy to answer them. But
Well, definitely. Are you willing to work for the city?
absolutely, we've been doing things through Clementine, and and she's been wonderful. But if you have a better deal,
A deal? I mean, you're honor-clad, aren't you? You would just do it for the good of
yeah, like if
the people.
Like, yeah, it's like we don't want to, like we've been doing things through Clementine and helping people that she's been letting us know about. But if you can let us know about more people,
Well, I'll speak to the front desk, and if you guys
people-
need to tell me anything beyond this, I will always be at your beck and call. Please,
Yeah, so, like,
let us
we just
know.
want, like-
He'll point you directly to wherever I am, and you can give me more
yeah,
information. Definitely.
Yeah, we've been helping people that we can through Clementine. But if you can let us know about people who need more help, we don't really want to cut her out because she's been so helpful. And and
Is the Black Fang with you?
no, that's what was so concerning because he said he'd be back in 24 hours and he wasn't.
Well, that is concerning.
And we then we waited almost an extra hour, and he didn't show up.
Give me a moment. And he snaps again for like a different. Still has the same guy beside him, or I'll say it's female. Just not because I want the servants to be female, but because I want there to be some females in the building. And then another person comes up and he says, he tells him, go get the information, the most recent news on the Black Fang for me, and then he runs off. But he still has the same person taking notes on everything you literally say. They're writing down, they're drawing your face. They're getting every inch of information off of you possible at this point. Yeah, I can help you with that. I'm not. You're on a cloud, right? I guess I can tell you. I can tell you. Looks again down to the woman sketching things, and she just nods, and you can clearly tell that there's some disparity in He's got the rank, but he doesn't necessarily have the. Anyways, he continues after stumbling over his words for a second. We did get message from the Black Fang. We did hear from him. I don't know why he wouldn't have returned by now, though. We'll find out soon. I'm certain we've learned something about him. Unless you guys have something to say, he just like sits there waiting, like tapping his foot.
What was the message?
He doesn't know yet. He sent a person off to go get it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. You're asking what the original message was.
Yes.
Well, what you've said, there's... we may be going to... I don't want to say it out loud. You've already done it, but I don't want to say it. I feel like saying it makes it true.
You don't want to put that garbage into the world. Too many times. In case it becomes too real.
He's sitting there and waiting a little bit, and the person comes running back up again, and just kind of like bows their head and hands them a piece of note. As at closer inspection, you notice most of the people you've seen so far, definitely you can identify them as Ava elves. You notice that this one here, the one passing him the note, the one that he had sent off and came back, is wood elf, actually. If you care at all about the races of elves and piecing together what I'm doing with the culture, I'm just slowly seeding some stuff for you. Anyways, he receives a piece of paper and he starts looking through it. It looks like he may have come into some trouble.
The Black Fang?
Yes, the Black Fang. He may be delayed. Yes, that makes sense. Do you know these names? I don't recognize them. Callie? Tassa?
Yes.
Yes.
He's for some reason he says he had to stop. He had to do something.
Can I take the message?
No, you can't. You can't take the official document.
Okay, just tell us what about the people. You have to stop and talk to them or something? What about them?
There's not a whole lot of information here. Keep in mind, communicating this way is not ideal. Obviously, it would be much better to speak in person.
Are they helping him or hurting him?
He might be helping them flee
Why would-
the
hurting?
continent.
He says he had to stop and help them.
Okay. Are they all coming here now?
Honestly, we haven't gotten any more information. This is the latest breaking news. This whole thing has happened in only a few hours. I'm telling you, if I could tell you more, I would. And I greatly appreciate the information you've given us so far.
Some kind of location that...
We're supposed to be off the continent by now.
How long took to get here or something?
How long to get... No, I don't know why he would know that.
I don't know. I don't know how they send messages.
Like I'm just saying, those people were supposed to be off the continent.
He knew. He basically knew nothing when you first showed up, and then he was handed a piece of paper and just explained what was on the piece of paper. He doesn't have more information.
I'm just so confused. Like, why are they? Does he need to help them? They should be off continent, or they have.
Really not.
They said they were going to the coast and taking a ship off continent. They have. Why would he be helping them? They should not be here at all. They should be.
If they couldn't get
Still
off
writing
the
it down.
continent,
They're still writing it down. They're like, this is gold. We need all this info.
they might need his help escaping the continent.
So he could be headed to the coast, or he could just be bringing them here, or I could not. I don't know his mind. So
Yes, I wish I could tell you more. I really do. In fact, if you don't mind, I have a million things to do now with all the things you've told me. I'm happy to listen to you more in all respects.
Can we get like a forwarded version of any more from him?
all right. Since we've got this much,
Wait, what? Can I get an answer first?
sure.
Forward it, like, you want them to, like,
No. That's
find,
terrible.
just send a messenger to wherever you are?
Oh.
Like I'm not really sure what you're asking for. You don't have a cell phone.
That's what forwarding means. Yeah. I want to know if he messages. Apparently, he's sending messages here and not to us. So I want to.
Because we're not that important.
Okay, I know. I'm asking if this makes
That
us
was the
important.
latest message they had received. It wasn't like the guy ran out, spoke with the Black Fang, and then came back. He just went and got the last piece of information that they had.
Okay, are they not getting more information in the future, possibly? Or if they get more information, are we able to get access to it without coming back here?
I, as, I, I don't know. Are any of you diviners? He asks,
Not
and then the woman like pokes him a little, and he's like, "What? What? You can't assume that the Ironclad might be." Sorry, I apologize.
I don't. I mean, not yet. We're not diviners. I don't know. Do we just need to speak to a diviner?
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah, just need
Okay, cool. I guess we'll just leave so you can do your work.
to stream's down.
The stream is down.
Fine for me.
Is it?
Well, for me it was.
Looks fine for me.
Wow.
That's okay. YouTube actually crashed that day that I had troubles, and I was like, "Why isn't YouTube working?" Oh, it was actually down for the whole world
Wow.
for like an hour.
Which,
I wonder if it like honestly, in the days prior to that, like a day before and the day before that, Discord was down for a while and Reddit was down for a while, and there was like arguments that it had something to do with like the API and stuff they do through Google. It's possible that this whatever it was had like a waving effect of like breaking systems on the way down. Maybe. I mean, I only hear about the services I use. It's possible that other services also had similar outages that I just am not aware of, and the news doesn't think it's important. Anyways, what would you guys like to do? Actually, sorry. It is 1:30. Do you guys want to take a quick fiver?
I can
yeah,
actually.
quick bathroom break then.
Yeah, we're just going to do a quick bathroom break. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Anyone watching? You can still sit and listen. We'll be back in a quick 5. The quickest 5 possible. It's so quick, it's actually 4 minutes and 60 seconds. Don't you wonder from the your Dun 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 dun.
Are we back?
I'm here.
Ugh. That is going. Yeah, are we going to not have combat today? This will be fun.
I don't know. I don't know where. So maybe.
Welcome back. Which I say to myself as I come back.
Hey, humans.
Humans.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are Ava elves the basically a copy of moon elves?
I don't think they're moon elves.
I don't know. They're their own elf in this world.
Okay,
I don't know what. When you say copy, do you just mean
like like you took the stuff of moon elf and then just labeled them Ava elves?
Why do you think that? I mean, the Saloon is like the moon goddess, but their god is Ava, so that's a different.
Hmm,
I mean, there's like sun elves too. There's all sorts of types of elves in different fantasy
I know
worlds.
it's so.
It's hard to say what. Like I didn't just. I don't know. I think I just took like the base elf template and then I was gonna add stuff to it, but I haven't done it yet. And it doesn't really matter because you guys can't be Ava elves, so adding a bunch of stats to a race that it would just be for flavor.
I honestly just imagine them like high elves, kind of, but apparently they're different. But I don't know how it's different yet.
Like, are they wisdomish or strengthish?
I mean, I don't think he does that yet.
Huh?
Why do you? Why does that matter?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they're different from any other elf. Is all like.
How are any of the elves different from the other elves? Their skin color,
High
maybe
elf
their hair or something.
I
High
mean, yeah.
elf are intelligent and get a cantrip.
Well, even just without that, I mean, yeah, they're innately. I mean, it's like Lord of the Rings elves. High elves are like the.
Keebler elves are different from Lord of the Rings elves.
That's a
What-
true statement. I don't know how that's relevant, but it's definitely true.
Or Ava elves, Keebler elves.
But wood elves are like
No.
the ones in the woods. I mean, that's literally they're based off of the ones from Lord of the Rings. Essentially, they're not exactly like perfect builds or something, but that's what they're based off of thematically. With Drow, obviously, that's one they kind of made up on their own. But yeah, so those have like the theme they have the thematic.
Or drow, just orcs from Lord
No.
of the Rings.
Are orcs.
Because the orcs in Lord of the Rings are elves.
Yeah, but those are but we have orcs, so no.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying, like, what counts as comes from or copied from or whatever. Inspired by.
There's original stuff in D&D too, but I'm just meaning like that idea of an. Whenever yeah, a high elf.
They're
it
not
has that-
hobbits, they're halflings.
They're yeah, exactly. Well, some of the words they weren't able to copy, but
They tried. It didn't happen.
I mean, halfling works just fine too. It's not like you had to they had to rename orc, which is good.
I don't know if you know anything about Warhammer, but
I-
many years ago, Um, they tried to like copyright the term Space Marine because that's like their biggest army in 40k universe, and they were like, no, you can a Marine. That's such a generic word. You can't just like if you think about it, StarCraft also calls their guys Space Marines. A bunch of shows call their dudes Space Marines. So they're like, no, you can't. So then they broke off into what they do now, where they just everything is like crazy Latin. Like they're called the Imperium Astartes or whatever, or like they have like everything is Latin named because those are things that they can copyright. It sounds badass, but that's not why they did it. They didn't go, let's just call them cool names. They were like, no, we need to call them obscure names so that we can easily copyright stuff so that people can't use our material. Just a fun fact if you cared.
The one thing I know about Warhammer 40k or whatever is that people who are really into it, I don't like playing D&D with them because they do weird things in D&D that I don't like.
Wait, who does?
Weird things? Like, what do you mean?
Their role play is very strange in ways
yeah?
I don't like.
I know that when I played 40k for a bit, and I came from a background and with players who were competitive MTG players. As I read through and fell in love with Warhammer 40k, I learned that the reason it's fun, or the reason it's successful, is not the rules. The mechanics of the game are okay. The big thing is the vast lore built behind it, and the role play and the like figuring stuff. Like, for example, one of the coolest things that I always thought cool about Warhammer 40k is that the orcs in that world, to explain how somehow these like unintelligible fungus people are capable of creating starships and flying across the space, but yet they're too dumb to like understand their own mortality, or like is that they have this like psychic power innately that if enough of them gather and believe something to be true, it will be true. So since they all believe that like painting their trucks red makes them go faster, it actually does. And so like their trucks will drive faster because they've been given a red paint job, even though it makes no sense. So much to an extreme extent that there's a character in the human military known as like Deadeye something, who's like a deadly sharpshooter. The orcs are afraid of him in such a great degree, like such a legendary amount, that it actually gives him like these like innate abilities from the orcs that just like their collective consciousness just like forces the fabrics of reality to change, even though it doesn't make any sense, just because there's so many of them, and they have an unaware psychic innate ability. I don't know, it's kind of fun. I don't know if you guys care.
So they've given him but somehow players who come from 40k do have weird roleplay habits I just don't like. That's something I've noticed.
Well, 40k is very range. I don't know how you would. I don't know. I feel like D&D is just so much different.
It's not the mechanical habits. It's the verbal. It's the.
I mean, did you play with like how many people have you played with? Like it might have been.
I've only played like 5 games. I've only outside of this group, I've only played like 3 or 4 short one-shotty type things, and in each of them I've had someone, at least one person who was who was a
Warhammer fan,
person, and and each of them was like, ugh, what is this?
do they get like really edgelord? Like I can see, because the Warhammer universe is incredibly dark. It's like people are just like dying all the time. So it wouldn't surprise me if what you're mentioning is a player that's very edgelordy. Is that what you're talking about?
necromancer who wants to replace the party with and just become his own party
Yeah.
with all.
I could see D&D, or I could see 40k players coming over, and for some reason Roll20 is restarting. 40k players coming over and wanting to be like lawful evil characters and just like, yeah, being really edgelordy and yeah.
And there's
I want to summon
one-
devils and demons. It's like, well, okay, wait a second.
like they wanted to be or there was one who wanted to be a who wanted to be a cleric who was who wanted to be a based off of one of the
Yeah.
it was you know the
It doesn't come over.
abuse
I was making some jokes
there.
in one chat like a couple days ago about it, but it does not really work. You can't make Warhammer and 40 and D&D really. The lore is just so different. I think that they are much better in their own rights.
Yeah, like I'm sure that in that universe, that kind of thing would be great.
I don't even
A
really
lot
care
fun.
for the like MTG crossover stuff. It's kind of cool because as a Magic the Gathering fan, I see it and I'm like, oh, I recognize this and this. But playing it, like I've read through the book and I'm like, I think
Yeah.
I'd rather just play like if I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons, I just want to play Dungeons and Dragons. If I want to play Magic the Gathering, I'll just play that. Like, I don't think.
I like the I've read the character classes, and I'll take the character classes, but I don't particularly care about the book.
Well, that's the thing is when Tasha's comes out, it's supposed to rework those so that they're not flavored, so that they're generic, Druid of the Spore or whatever instead of
like
Golgari Druid of the Spore.
Like, if you let me have that Eloquence Bard, I would have gone Eloquence Bard.
Yeah, and that and in a week it should be available to us, but it'll be a tweaked version of it that it'll probably be very similar though.
Yeah, the Eloquence Bard is so busted.
The fact that all your rolls are at least a 10 for like your important stuff is pretty crazy actually. That's very strong. I don't know what they were thinking. They're just like, hey, let's give you like it's better than getting like a plus 10. Well, no, I guess it's not better than getting a plus 10, but it's similar.
So I would have a
Do we want to sorry to cut you off. Do we want to jump back in?
Yeah.
but I would have a minimum of plus.
Yeah, you'd have like you'd roll a minimum of a 20 on every single roll, unless you rolled a nat 1. It would be insane. Okay, so to get us back on track, you guys are. I'm gonna hand wave. You guys are on your way out of this building at this point, just to kind of move things along. They gave you everything they could. Like you can keep asking them, and I'm just gonna DM hand wave. You've already gotten like way more than I was planning to give you guys. And I feel you guys did a good job. You guys did a good job. You asked a lot of the right questions. You went to the right places. Very inquisitive. I think you kind of got all the information you can squeeze out of this stone right now.
Yes. Now, the next thing to do is tame some owl bears.
Or we could talk to the front desk and see if they have any other jobs.
Tame some owl bears.
Or we could tame some owl bears.
Well, yeah, it's up to you.
What do you mean talk to the front desk?
Well, he mentioned working for the city. I think that's the reference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Other jobs instead of Clementines.
So you can go and speak with him about it. You also notice when you go over there, the man you had spoken with comes over and tells the front desk, like while you're there, like if these guys come back in, you tell them right, you get me immediately. And he's like, yeah, no problem for sure. And then like he leaves, and the guy's like, I had no idea. I knew you guys were adventurers. I didn't realize you were this important. Next time I won't have to bother giving you a pass on your hand. You can just use your faces.
Your badge is your face. Well, I would like to I guess Taurus actually. I think, I mean, it'd be cool if we can get some jobs with the city, but I kind of think that we should maybe try to have uh, Clementine come in and she can be the one to, you know, she's been pretty helpful, I think.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't see
We'll
why
just,
not.
I guess I'll tell the guy about Clementine. I don't know how to make sure he knows who she is, but
Yeah,
I'll say, well,
okay, yeah. I'll let her know of anything that comes up, and then she can pass the information on to you guys.
okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll let Clementine know that she can come in and ask them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You guys want to talk to Clementine now?
Recap the quest lines.
Or we can tame owlbears.
Yep. Technically, that's not one that Clementine gave you. That's just one that Falstar discovered.
Which one?
Learning how to tame an owlbear.
Yeah, I guess we can go do that. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So, if I pull it up, I did name the person. I had a little personality set up for just such an occasion. So it's at the back of the temple of, or the shrine of Saloon. They use owlbears for ceremony. And if I can find it. Yes, so as you come to the stables, there is one ranch hand there that is clearly running the show. It is an older elven, it will be Ava elf woman. And her name, and she's like putting like some like saddles away or something, and the barding for these things is massive, so she's like putting it away, and you see like there is a stalled owlbear in one of their like I'm just gonna picture it like a really big horse stalls, except it's for the size of like these massive owlbears. You know what? No, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm gonna say that they have them kind of like a cow field. Like they have like a wide open like area to graze, and I don't know if they eat grass exactly.
They're eaters.
Yeah, they're monstrosities, so I imagine their diet is mostly meat, and they get fed. Like you even like see like an apparatus that you're pretty sure they use to like lower down like bunts meat to them to feed them and stuff. But right now, they have one owlbear that's hanging out in its open space area. Because I would argue that these creatures would not handle being broken and put into a stall like a horse. So they do have them for like cleaning and other things, but for the most part, they let them roam free. Which I guess technically that's what they do with horses too. But horses tend to be stalled like all night long. Whereas in this situation, they don't do that. Anyways, guys don't care about the specifics of that. You just want to meet the ranch hand.
Yeah, I'll go up to the lady and be like, "Hi, we're looking to train some owl bears."
It's just like straight up false start. This guy really wants an owl bear, buddy. Yeah, she introduces herself as Birdie. Her name is, which I thought was just a clever, fun name, considering she takes care of owl bears, and her name is Birdie. Which I just thought was kind of funny. Yes, my name is Birdie. I'm going to give her an accent for the hell of it. You're looking to tame some owl bears. You must be adventurous folk.
We are.
We're adventurers. We're also honor clad.
I was going to say, she might she immediately gets respect for you guys. Oh, are you, dear? You must have done some things for the city.
Yeah. I try to crack
that.
fail.
Or defeated a diviner in combat or something. Well, I imagine you can handle your own, then sure, I can teach you a thing or two about owlbears.
Cool.
I think this will be very easy.
So she explains that there's also other places in town where you could get horses. Riding horses, the costs for them are pretty well known. You can look them up on if you ever did want riding horses, which are good for getting you from point A to point B, but not through dense forested thicket, which would be to go further south. You might want them if you wanted to go further into the Elven lands, which I haven't given you any real plot hooks to do, but not that you have tried to do it, but if you had gone with the hunting quests, the fight the beasts, they are very fast, and you would have all had to do it on horseback. So I was gonna include that then, but you guys are probably not gonna end up doing that quest. So I'm just gushing a little. But for the owlbears, she explains that they're great for going through forested areas because they can just smash right through even the magical thicket. Strangely put, you wonder if the humans might have learned how to tame and ride owlbears. Maybe they wouldn't have been attacking a lot sooner. But basically, if you do manage this task, you can move from here further south, although I don't know why you'd want to now that there's a war coming, but who knows what's going to happen in the next month or whatever. Like if you're trying to get to Ironfell, for example, they're going to smash right through that 3-day journey you did with the Black Fang much quicker. You're going to get through, I don't know, maybe a day or something. Like it's going to be way quicker because it's not only is it moving fast like a horse, it just like ignores the terrain and just bulldozes through everything. Which, if you guys remember, way back when you fought owlbears, I had them do that. That's how you saw them, is you saw this big like tunnel of trees being smashed, and then you guys stepped back, and then they came plowing through. It was clearly a path they had already.
Oh, they're monstrosities, not beasts.
Yeah, they are. They're monstrosities.
Oh boy,
So that's why animal handling didn't really work, but there are ways to do it. So
Can we ride one?
the owlbears are particular. I don't know if I would trust putting you on one of them without it having gotten to know you first. Could be dangerous.
All right. Well, how do we do it?
If you're looking to find yourself an owlbear, which you should be able to, the forests have them occasionally. You should be able to hunt them down if that's something you wanted. Pardon me if anyone actually knows people with an accent similar to this and I'm butchering it. This is a Canadian trying to do a Southern American accent, and it's probably terrible.
Not even close.
It's a
Not even
D&D
close.
accent.
It's terrible.
D&D.
Not even close.
Not even close? Okay. Is it close to any accent that you know of? Because then I can just claim that that's the accent I was trying to do.
I think it sounds like a Canadian trying to do a Southern American accent.
Oh, damn. That's actually who Birdie is. Okay, we figured it out.
That's actually who Birdie is.
So she explains to you that the process for capturing one of these things, I'm just going to gloss over it because I wrote these rules a while back. Should I just read it aloud, I wonder?
I don't know. Is this? Can we
So the first step in taming an owlbear is you have to first become a Canadian, then you have to try to do you have to find a specific there's a specific herb that you need to find. This is step 1. It's called feather shade. It is a white bell-shaped flower with smooth leaves. The leaves can be crushed into a paste that you can then possibly spread or like somehow put in the meat and then trick an owlbear into eating. After the owlbear eats that, it will be it'll drug it, and it'll become incredibly docile for a short period of time. So if you guys want to do that,
So we gotta roofie them, basically.
basically, so that's step 1. Step 1 is you roofie them. Now after no, actually that's all she explains. She explains what step 1 is and tells you that you have to go and get some feather shade first.
Bridge.
Yeah.
Some on you.
That's what she's saying.
Yes.
Yeah, she's like, I will teach you, but you got to like prove yourself. So step 1 is to it's gonna be survival checks, which I know you're bad at. You guys can't find food anywhere.
All right. Well, I'll go look.
I will too.
Okay, so you have to head out of the city. You have to-
13. Oh, I'll go out of the city first.
Sure, yeah. So you guys go out of the city. Yeah, 13's pretty good. It might be good enough. And you guys spend an hour foraging for this stuff. Yeah, you can all roll it, and I'll tell you who gets it and who doesn't. Unless
Oh.
Forrest is like, I don't want to forge for
Sorry, my
bells.
page was behind other pages. I hadn't
Yeah.
rolled. That was my first roll today.
Yeah, you guys all, you guys like, you almost like do it like a competition. You're like, okay, this stuff's not that hard to find. Let's go do it. And you kind of split up to look in different directions. And Fallstar's clearly the first one to find this thing. And he finds it, and he finds some of them. And then each of you actually do manage the DC as well. So you find your feather shades. I'm going to just... I love that. Like, I had forgotten what I put, but a white bell-shaped flower with smooth leaves. Like, that's some high-level DMing right there. I'm impressed by my past self. As you get these flowers, and you can, she you know, you do what she had told you, and you crush them, and you actually make. Each of you now has 5 doses of feather
Should we
shade.
Should we get some for Fjorn?
Is it gonna stay fresh or?
Just worry about it when you need it. I mean, it doesn't take you long to go. You're just gonna lose hours if you roll low, so I mean, it's not that big a deal. So, yeah, that's cool. You get your feather shade drug, I guess, or feather shade. You get 5 doses per successful survival check or gathering of the flowers. So you have tons between the 3 of you.
Oh, geez.
After returning with some feather shade, she will explain, and I'm not just going to tell you that.
Should we add those items to our inventory, by the way?
You can if you want. Yeah, I didn't make it a magical item. It's not even a magical item. It's just like a random. It's just like adding papers or whatever to your inventory.
Oh, so yeah, random. The
just put it in your notes or whatever.
What's it called? Sorry.
Feather shade.
Okay.
And so she explains that once they've eaten, they very quickly take effect, and there'll be about 2 hours that they're in this kind of stupor, docile state. And during that time, during the 2 hours, it is in a stupor. Okay, so yeah, so you've already been out into the woods to find something, and now she tells you you need to find yet another item out in the wilderness. These are a special berry called scarlet fire berries, and what you need to do is you need to find enough of these berries that when the creature is in that weird drugged state, you need to feed them this berry and speak to them in whatever language you want them to understand. So if you can speak common or you can do elf, but then they're only going to know the language that you teach them. And then after the 2 hours of their stupor, it will come out of it and consider your voice to be friendly to it at that point, when it hears you speak. So at that point, you have to then continue to speak to it at least once every hour for the next 2 full days. Or the bond, the effects of the berries, the bond will break between you, and it will become wild and attack you. Yeah, even at night. So that's the important thing.
Get fatigued.
Yeah, you won't rest, so you can't take long rests while you're attempting this. So now that I've taught you this, you might be thinking, well, do I want to be locked in for 2 days if there's a war coming, or if I want to do other things next week? You'll have to take that into consideration when making this kind of a decision.
All-Star does.
Yep.
It even says this will be wearing on the person doing it because they'll have to go without resting or long rests. Technically, you could take a short rest and then feed it.
Could he use
And talk
minor
to it.
illusion to just talk for him?
While he's sleeping? I
You
don't know if
can't-
he
you
can
can't-
cast spells
Yeah,
while
you
you're
can't
sleeping.
queue up minor illusion, right?
Yeah, you just queue up 24 minor illusions to just say hi every hour. I don't know. You could. I don't know if you
No.
can do it during your sleep, but I mean, yeah, you could try.
Yeah, trigger for
We don't
later
have,
or
you know,
whatever.
No.
We don't have magic mouth.
So if
Minor
you
illusion
want,
says
you can.
create your own voice, the sound.
But it's not. You have to cast it still. You can't like.
yeah,
And
trigger.
we
it,
don't
okay,
have
okay.
and they don't have any spells that are. They don't have things like contingency or stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, we don't have something that will time it like that.
But you
So,
can
I-
do someone else's
We'll
voice.
find the rest
So-
of the stuff, and we'll at least have everything there.
Yeah, so it's up to you. You can either, for this one specifically, she has some of these berries in stock. It's up to you if you want to go and look for them like you just did for survival. You'll get way more if you succeed. Or she'll sell you a single amount, like one taming worth amount, which I guess would be enough berries, which would be, I guess, 50 berries, 48 berries, 1 an hour for 2 days.
I'd like to do this.
For 10 gold. She'll sell you one package for 10 gold, or you can go do your survival checks again, and you'll get way more than that if you want to have more. If you want to potentially have more owl bear chances.
I'll survival it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm feeling lucky.
Why not? We got time to kill until Fjorn gets back. You guys can all roll survival, and I'll tell you who gets berries, and the people that don't can just buy them or borrow from the people who did make it.
13.
A 13, a 12, and a 12. It's funny. Finding the feather shade was a 12, but finding the berries is a 13.
Oh, well, All-Star wins.
So, when you do successfully scavenge these berries and you find it, and you appear to be the best one at all of this, the bush, you gather enough that you get 2 full attempts instead of 1. So you have like 100 berries, I guess. And then if you wanted to try to do, like, you're probably not going to find 3 owl bears and tame them all simultaneously. You'll have to do this one, and then another, or 4 if you want the whole party, or 5 if you want Rim to have one. Like, it could take you a while. There's also
What are they called again?
They're called scarlet fire berries, and again, they're just like I made this up a while ago, so even I am reading that. Like, this is like 3 months ago or whatever I wrote this, and I'm reading it going, wow, this is a cool little homebrew. Who made this? I wish I made this. That would be so... I've done that before, where like I ask questions on Reddit, or ask questions on like a forum of some sort, and then like months later I have the same problem, and I find someone asking the exact question I had, and I'm like, wow, this guy really knows this stuff. And I'm like, oh wait, it was just me like 8 months ago. I may, like, I actually I had my genetics tested, and I'm predisposed to
Forgetfulness.
Alzheimer's and dementia into my old age, and I'm kind of hoping that if it does happen, because it's scary as hell, and I try not to think about losing my mind into my late ages, but if it does happen, I do like that weird idea that I could potentially like set up stuff as past me that future me would enjoy. So, and I'll be like, thank you, old me, for thinking of this.
This guy tells the funniest jokes.
Yeah, I'm gonna think my own jokes are hilarious. I think it just like scratches clearly your own personal niche there, so that's why it seems better than it really is. Anywho, after you get your berries and return to Birdie, she will now teach you guys how to potentially track down and find an owlbear. She explains to you what their favorite foods are, and what to look for, like what animals, like if you find tracks of specific animals, that's going to help you find them, and like what you should feed them. You should probably like have meat on hand so you don't want to like walk up and try to animal handling check feed them. You want to like throw it at them from a distance, or possibly trick them into coming into a situation and eating it. If you know what I'm referring to, don't do that, and do it the smart way. The party can now make tracking attempts in the wilderness if you want. The DC is...
We need to go buy food first. Buy meat.
Yeah, or you can use some of that food that you bought.
Yeah.
You did buy like a week's worth of food or whatever unnecessarily.
And I have a zombie beholder eye.
The eye stalks? I don't know if they'll eat eye stalks. Honestly, I'm sure. Why not? If you want them to eat the zombie eye stalks, it may have some undesired like effects as well. You don't know what zombie meat's effect will have on the owlbear's digestive system, but yeah, technically you have those.
I think zombies are supposed to eat people or other things. Other things aren't supposed to eat zombies.
I mean, they're monstrosities. Maybe they are okay with eating anything. I doubt I'll be able to find an entry in any information on on what would happen there, but you never know. There's some really weird Reddit posts about D&D sometimes, and I'm just like, well, how did this happen? Like, it reminds me of when I was when someone was asking about if Coffee turned into a cat and then had sex with a cat, what would happen? And then I was like, there's like a bunch of Reddit posts about this exact issue, and it's kind of weird that more people came up with this idea. I don't want to know about it. Like I saw one that was like, if a human eats elf meat, is that still cannibalism? And I was like, Jesus Christ. Jesus.
So how do we do the tracking check?
So it'll be another survival check to find an owlbear encounter. And then once you do, you're just going to roll it. Let's just roll it. We're going out there. Let's fight some owlbears or find them.
Yep.
So, 22. I mean, in this situation, you would just do one as a group. You're not each going to split up to find an owlbear. You're going to go and find one.
Well, we only got the berries from Fallstar anyways, right?
That's true.
I'll buy some berries before we go out.
Okay, like is that if that's the plan? You guys want to split up and find 3 different owlbears? That's fine. But just keep in mind, if you roll poorly, it may end up attacking you, and you'll be soloing the owlbear. I'm not saying you can't. It's only a CR2. You guys probably will still be able to beat it. I'm just letting you know this isn't exactly a safe task to be doing.
Blanford knows.
I don't think I found one.
No, I don't think you did. So, yeah, if you spend 10 gold, that's enough berries for the 3 of you if you all wanted it, and then...
Yeah, let's go.
So you're going to split up. All right, let's split up and see what we can do.
Let's not split up. Let's go together.
Okay, go together. Yeah, let's just go together and use Oris's stealth then. That's cool. May's like, no, I'm finding a freaking owlbear. Okay, it takes you 2 hours instead of the 1, but yeah, you're able to track an owlbear as well in the wilderness. So is it Blanford and Oris together with one set of No.
They have 2.
They have 2 and they're together.
I found a mom and pop bears.
You found the Berenstein owlbears.
Yes.
You might have found 2. 22 is better than mine. Definitely.
One that's too hot and one that's too cold.
The one that's just right.
Oh, before we go, I'm going to take some of the food off the bag of holding.
Yeah, I'm going to guess you guys all have some meat to bait these things and what have you. So wait. Okay. Well, actually, I did apparently write rules for a check if you were to try to have them eat right out of your hands. So I guess it's up to you guys how you want to try to... So I'm going to say Blanford and Oris as a team are managed to track down... yeah, sure, I'll make it a small family owlbears. I don't have stats on babies, so if you get attacked, I don't know how that's going to go.
Oh, let's definitely kill the baby first.
There's going to be...
the parents stronger because they have
parent
power.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a mama and 2 babies. And if you kill a baby bear, you're going to have to fight it. There'll probably be a dad coming at you or some more owlbears in the...
They also get a rage bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they always have a rage bonus. Owlbears are scary as fuck.
Yeah,
okay.
but they'd also become a monk.
You also don't know if a dose to, like, put the full-grown owlbear into a stupor, what that will do to a child owlbear. Also, another interesting thing, if anyone was curious, there is actually a point in the new Baldur's Gate where there are owlbears. And I won't spoil I didn't actually do very well. I ended up just like... I think I got halfway into the fight and quit or something, and that's when I stopped playing. But there was an owlbear and baby owlbears. So it's kind of interesting that I'm picturing that as we do this. And then, yeah, and May is also able to find just a single owlbear in the wilderness, just kind of foraging and kind of scratching at the ground. I don't know what owlbears do. They hoot, I guess?
Beak on a tree.
What would you guys like to do?
So, just get some food and feed it, throw it on the ground near it or something?
Sure.
With the stuff in it?
So you're going to just, like, toss it from like 50 feet away or something?
I don't. I mean, I guess I'll get as close as I can. I don't know.
All right. Is that the plan for the other guys as well?
Yeah, Oris can sneak in, or maybe there's like we can use a minor illusion to draw them in to where we leave food from a distance and then back away.
That's not a bad idea. You could, yeah,
Suggest that to Blandford.
could be doable. You
Yeah,
can
let's
actually
do
make
that.
sounds with it, right? So if you made like
Exactly. Another cub or something.
I don't think you guys should get a cub. It's gonna be really. It's not gonna be worth the amount. It's gonna be way smaller. And stuff.
No, to draw the owlbears over. Make the sound of another cub so the mom comes to look or something. I
thought
don't
you
know.
were like trying to get a cub. Like, I don't think a cub would be ever.
it's it wouldn't be a very good.
I'm gonna create a minor illusion of uh, a baby owl or a cub owl bear stuck under a tree, stuck in a bush or stuck under a tree or something.
Okay.
Just a static image of of a little tiny owl there.
Wait, are you making an image or a sound? Because you can only do one or the other, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do the sound.
sound like it's how about in the middle
Okay.
of the deep in the
You
forest.
take a couple seconds to like listen for the sound of the owlbear babies, and you're like, okay, I think I can emulate this sound. And then you
But
guys
I mean,
put
it sounds more-
the dosed meat, in a bit of a clearing, and then you guys step back like however much and hide in the trees, and then you minor illusion from 60 feet. I think it's 60 feet you got on that spell, and make the sound. Whereas May attempts to like get as close as she can and then chuck it. I'm gonna ask that May make a stealth check, and I'm gonna just say Oris, because if I ask you, Oris is gonna opt to do it. Make a stealth check as well. Oh, Jesus Christ, Oris, what are you doing?
I was so excited for stealth checks today.
Oh my God, my friend. Oh no. I was gonna say you almost didn't need the stealth check because you guys are doing the like illusion thing.
Passive
And I was
stealth.
gonna make the DC like extra low for you, but you still rolled a nat 1, which is
Now you got bling. You do.
okay. So May's stealth roll is actually good within the DC that past DM Tuber had set up. So you're good. If you fail, the owlbear will attack. Okay. So I'm gonna give you guys one last chance, Mr. Stealthy guys. I'm gonna assume that when the owlbear hears you guys, false start instincts kick in, and he tries animal handling again. And
Yep.
this is an honest to goodness chance. So
Or it's not false star.
Oris made the noise, but they're together, and Falstar decided, he's like, I will save my friend. I can do this. And we'll see if you can. Please roll animal handling.
He's too good, bro.
You might get lucky
Nat
here. If you might be able to save the day so that you guys don't get attacked.
14?
I mean, it probably
A 14? I think I'm gonna give you it on that one. Because this isn't. I think I'm gonna.
I throw like a pot roast sized piece at him.
Is that what you do? I was gonna suggest that you distract with minor illusion again. But if you want to throw things at the owlbear, I mean, I'm gonna say you go to throw it, and then your instincts kick in with that 14, and you instead just make the illusion make it better sound to further distract beyond Oris's. Unless you really want to do that. If you really want to throw things at the owlbear and give away your position entirely.
No.
Okay.
I was better sound effects. I was really thinking throw a pot roast sized.
I think that's what you like a nat 1. That's what you were. That was what went through your mind, and then you like stopped yourself, and you're like, "No, I've learned from my mistakes. I'm gonna do it from over here." And so like it
The
almost
minor illusion of a pot roast.
exactly, or it makes the sound of like a its prey. I was thinking, like, you just like make like it's like, oh damn, I want to eat that rabbit or something. Like, I don't know, rabbits don't really make much of a noise, but whatever. Either way, I'm gonna give you guys, not gonna make you fight the damn thing. So the stealth check is good. You were able to sneak up, throw the meat without it noticing you there. But then it does turn and see this meat, and it goes up to it, and it's like, oh yes, thank you, and it eats it, and the other one eats it, and the two cubs come, and by the time the cubs come, the mama bear's eaten all of it. So luckily, we won't see drugged cubs because of the way you kind of like dragged her over. And yeah, after a few moments, you notice that it starts to like lay down, and seems kind of tired and droopy-eyed, and maybe safe to approach.
All right, I'm going to start. I'm going to approach and eat it, my berry.
Okay, so just to confirm, this bear will be bonding to you in your voice.
Correct.
Okay, and Oris is okay with that.
I don't have a
Unless
berry
you want to do
anyways.
this one.
Okay.
But
gonna
I'm
start
wondering
this
what's gonna.
process, and
I'm wondering what's gonna happen to the cubs.
Yeah.
You're gonna take the whole family with you?
Yeah, the cubs seem confused, and they're like nuzzling mom, and they're just kind of like hanging out in the area. When you guys approach, they seem scared and they back up. But since you don't like immediately attack, they kind of, as you're doing this like taming process, they come up and like start like nuzzling you a little bit and kind of being nice. But then like one of them like play bites at Oris, like, and he pulls his hand away because he's like got lots of dexterity and didn't roll an out one this time, and you're like, oh damn, like you guys kind of have to like keep your distance. These things will, as even though they're babies, they still have like rows of razor sharp teeth in their beaks and like massive claws and stuff. So it's probably not best you take them with you. I would suggest that no one suggests. The air, the whisper, and the wind, the situation suggests to you guys that maybe you just like leave the cubs and they'll have to survive in the wilderness on their own.
So you guys have two amounts of berries, right?
Hmm?
So you've got one adult
Hmm?
that you knocked out. The other, is there not another adult, or is there?
Well,
Not right now.
So possibly, like, I don't think we should bring these along with us, but I kind of wonder if you could like sell the baby ones to the trainer lady.
Oh, you're gonna like catch them and like force
Well,
them?
like, if you,
not in
I
front of
don't
the.
know, you could
Not in
probably
Oh.
get a half portion for a baby, right? Because you don't need a full portion for one that's half the size. So you'd have to use up all the berries you have, but I have a feeling she's gonna pay more than 10 gold for
Well, the
them.
berries, you wouldn't be using the berries, or would you be using the berries? Oh, I don't know actually.
Or not the
I don't know.
You just,
I guess it's up to you guys if you're trying to get them to bond you or not.
you just need the blue stuff, I guess, right? So you can just knock them out.
Yeah, it's up to you guys what you're gonna do here. I'm gonna say May is over at petting her owl bear and like feeding it the little berry. And what language would you like to pick? Are you guys just gonna do common?
Since why not? Well, I was thinking Sylvan, but let me see the language.
You can. It's up to you. I don't think they naturally know a language.
Well, they might. Probably not.
Yeah, they don't. They don't know any language. They don't even know owlbear. But they will once you've done this with enough drugs and chemicals in their system. They will somehow have learned your voice is, a good thing.
I'm going to pick Elvish.
Okay.
I'm gonna because why not? Why not be super confusing? I'm gonna use Celestial.
Sorry, it kind of cut out there. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna use Celestial.
Celestial. Okay.
Because it's a language I know. It'd be fun. People won't know what I'm saying most of the time, so.
Okay, that's totally fine. So yeah, you guys managed to you feed it the one berry, and a few hours go by, and it kind of comes out of its. You guys back up as it happened. Oh, sorry. What are you doing with the cubs?
May is training one. think.
No,
I'm training Tommy.
May found
Oh.
her own.
May's
adult
not
one.
even with you guys. Technically, she can't even be telling you suggestions, but whatever.
Oris doesn't have any way of like bringing them back unless he like whips them.
Well, that's the thing. You can
Gets
either
them
you could like
run.
try to like burlap sack these bad boys, or you could like, you could try to drug them and see what happens, and maybe have them.
Can we
bond to
stuff
you.
them in
I
the
don't
bag
know.
of holding?
I mean, theoretically, yeah. I forget how long they have air for. Is it 10 minutes or 2
I have
hours?
the bag of holding technically.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah, May has
That's true. I don't know. I'm not sure what you guys want to do.
Oris will stand guard. He's gonna leave the cubs in wilderness.
Okay. That makes sense to me. So you guys feed the berries, and then you start to notice it coming out of the stupor. You talked to it a little. You said some nice words in Elvish or Celestial, and then as you notice it like starting to stir, you guys back up, and you watch the animal kind of get back to its feet, and it looks at you. One looks at May, one looks at Falstar, and it looks like it's about to growl, and you instinctively say the same thing you had said to it during its stupor, and as soon as you do, it's almost like hypnosis, and it just like goes nice and calm, and it just kind of like follows you at that point mindlessly.
Okay, cool. I'll do what we're supposed to do with it.
Yeah, now you just have to like, I don't know what you guys plan to do for the next 2 days.
We're gonna hang out and
Inside the
Chat.
city.
we're gonna chat with with our owl bears.
Yeah, I don't. It's up to you, I guess, where you want to do. It's starting to get a little late because each of those it was 2 hours. 2 hours of tracking the bear. 2 hours of because it took May 2 attempts, so 4 hours. Yeah, it's starting to get into like the evening at this point. Just because you've spent a lot of time doing these owl bear things today. You remember that Birdie had mentioned that she will stable or take care of owl bears when you're not using them, but it's not cheap. It's cheap to you guys. It's not cheap to your average person. It costs a gold per day per owl bear.
For food.
And boarding and just like keeping it. Unless you want to stay out here in the forest with it, which you can do.
Oh, I was gonna do that. Yeah, I didn't really want.
I'm just letting you know, like, at some point, it's not like the owl bear will just be with you all the time. You're going to use it for travel. Just like a horse, you wouldn't just, like, take it down into dungeons with you. It's a large animal, so you don't need it 24/7. So now you guys are going to have this, like, upkeep cost to maintain having these owl bears
Cool.
in your service. Yeah, so is the plan to just like stay outside or go?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I hadn't really thought of that, but I guess if you guys are just gonna stay outside for 2 days, like, is that the plan?
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess Oris can go back and forth. So
Yeah, since we'll have to. This is really
Like,
bad.
that's a lot of downtime. Like, things are gonna move, gears are gonna.
Yep, they are.
2 days is a lot of time to spend sitting in the forest, but I guess you won't
I told them that-
be in El Luane if it gets attacked. So there's a plus. Except
Oh,
Fjord
yeah.
will be. So.
Or
Yep.
language, so I'll
Yep.
just
Oris will go back and forth, so he'll be able to like provide updates if there are any, and he'll probably sleep in an actual bed.
Get those long rests and not get exhaustion.
Yeah,
That seems pretty
Exactly.
The sort of suckers kind of thing.
good.
I'm just going to be practicing all the stuff that I'm learning.
Yeah, he'll
Okay.
just use the downtime to like teach May the more abyssal and
I'll be honest, I didn't think that what we were doing today was going to be 2 days of time passage. I didn't think that that's
Well,
what we were going to be doing.
you could always have an attack happen while they're out here training, and then they have to decide whether to
Oh,
abandon it.
oh yeah,
a day and a half
there's
in,
definitely
and
going to be
then-
roles if you're out in the wilderness. Sleeping out in the wilderness has roles
Oh.
no matter what. So I mean,
I mean, like the army, if they get there and attack, and then May and Blanford
That's-
are like
that's
not there
true.
to help
I
fight or anything.
I mean-
They have to decide whether to abandon it to help the town or.
yeah, and you guys will be exhausted. You also have decisions on if you want to roll those dice during those days. Since you're not doing anything else, you could just be rolling dice for sweet bonuses.
Hey, there's no better way to get further exhaustion.
Yeah, we already have
Off the road stuff.
levels of freaking exhaustion first.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, so I'm gonna assume that after you've gathered up, after the owlbear's following you, you guys like meet up again, and then make plans for where you're gonna. So that you, I don't want to put May solo with an owlbear and potentially gets attacked, and Blanford
don't-
by himself potentially gets attacked. Unless that's
Can
really
they-
what you guys want to do, I'm just.
Can they sort of move around?
That's what I'm
Or the-
saying. The owlbear will follow you, so you can like meet up, plan where you're gonna like chill for 2 days.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's find a cave or something. Just hang out there.
Okay. You could.
That's- Yeah, that's a good idea. Boris can like scout around while they're waiting or something.
What's the
Oh my word! I cannot believe we're doing it this way.
why is this making me a player? What the heck? Give me
Is that
one
going to be
second.
survival again to look for like a cave? Or...
I don't know. Is this the cave you would like to spend time at?
Oh, can we make it there in a reasonable amount of time?
I think it was a day, and it puts you closer to any potential impending army.
That's
I don't
not
know.
a bad place, actually.
I'm just throwing it out there that you know where this exists.
That's a good idea, and then we can actually look for the rat lady there too.
The rat lady will be anywhere. You just have to
Yeah,
go
I
out into the
know.
woods and yell rat lady, or whatever it was.
And do the alchemic,
Let's do that.
the alchemic oil. Try and get some.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna say, rat lady, where are you now, rat lady, rat lady?
Rat lady,
we have to
where
travel
is your
here.
shoe?
Oh, we're gonna
rat
do that
lady,
from where we
I
were.
want to talk to you. I don't know. I made
Yeah.
that. That's pretty good, right?
That's what I was trying to come up with.
Oh, interestingly, I just noticed that there's a bunch of people in general voice. I wonder what they're hanging out about. Not watching the stream, that's for sure.
Too cool for us.
I think they're playing Minecraft. Well.
Set
Anywho, if anyone is watching this that's like, what? People are playing Minecraft? I want to be part of that. Links in the description. Just join our Discord, and there's always cool stuff going on. Instead of the stream, apparently. Which is fine. It's not like a demand everybody watch. They can always watch later. Or they can suck it.
If we camp up here, we can actually like go in this stronghold sort of thing as well. So
It's true. You can like actually ball up in the temple itself, or
Exactly.
beyond that, you could even like open into the. Well, no, sorry, you don't want to like hang out in the Shadowfell. That's a bad idea.
but we could cross over to the other side, right? And then
Yeah, you could do that.
Now let's go. Let's not. Let's go. Let's go in. Into the parts of the temple that you have to cross into the Shadowfell to get to.
So one last thing I'm going to mention to you guys, because you have Oris that could potentially fetch this stuff for you. You also have to technically pay for the like equipment to ride the thing once you fully tame it. I don't know if you're interested in having the barding purchased so that as soon as it's tamed you can ride it, or do you want to like?
Do you have to use barding, or because barding is like armor?
Sure, you can call it whatever you want. Saddle, whatever.
Get armor, that'd be cool too. On top of
It being a sweet ass owlbear, like
Yeah.
the best horse you've ever had.
what's their AC? Man, I don't have. I'll hold their stats up. I don't know.
Normally it's 13 when natural armor. I feel like we could probably bump that up to a 15 when you buy the barding.
Bard-
You do need the. I said it says saddle in here. I don't remember where I got this cost from
Well,
because
exotic saddle is what you.
it's an exotic saddle, and then I think I even made it. I can't remember if I made it more or less. Do you know how much offhand an exotic saddle is?
No.
Okay. Anyways, I have it priced out, and I'm pretty sure I thought about this in some respect. I don't think I just like made up a number. Like for example, the gold cost for stabling the animal is a gold a day, but that's only twice what it costs to do. A horse is 5 silver a day. So I said an owl bear costs twice as much. I don't know exactly how I mathed out the saddle, but it is 80 gold pieces. So if you guys want to each shell out 80 and have Oris go pick those up for you, you can have that at the ready and then meet up at this temple if that's what you're planning to do.
Okay.
If that's what you want. I'm just letting you know because Birdie would have technically told you that stuff before you left. I mean, maybe I should have said it so you could have planned that into if you wanted to do this or not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad at...
Exotic saddle is required for any aquatic or flying mount.
Yeah, so I think exotic might be 100. So I think I may have took...
It's 60.
Is it 60? I made it more?
For stuff that's flying or aquatic, that's what exotic means, technically.
Well, I mean...
Owl bears are half owl. Maybe they can fly.
Yeah, it's only 60, so I'm not sure why I chose 80. Other than maybe it's just like a... I mean, I guess I should compare this to like Greater Fine Steed, which would be when you would also need an exotic.
Or if you want to ride a giant eagle.
Technically, you don't really even need a saddle. I mean, that's the way saddles work mechanically is it just gives you advantage on checks to remain mounted. So, just like with a horse, you can technically ride a horse without a saddle. It's just that it's gonna be, it's gonna make it easier to actually stay on it if you're like riding it around, attacking people with a sword and fighting in battle.
Or a lance.
A
lance is the best weapon for being on a mount.
Any weapon, it doesn't matter. But barding is, I think it's too expensive for what it's worth right now because you'd need to go to get anything better than what you have. We'd have to go with more than hide or more than studded armor, and it's 4 times as much for them. So, I mean, maybe a chain shirt.
Is that just like the rules for barding? Is this always 4 times?
Yeah. It's 4 times as much as it would be for a human. I don't know what the chain shirt. Chain shirt doesn't have a cost. Where is the freaking cost for a chain shirt?
I think it's 4 times equivalent armor made for humans.
Yes, but I'm looking for actual chain shirts. So that'd be 200 gold pieces. And that'd be plus 1 AC, I think. So.
Okay. I'm still going to require... it's fine. You've convinced me to charge you 60 instead of 80. Although I could just say she charges whatever she wants for exotic saddles. But I'm still going to require you need an exotic saddle to ride a monstrosity. Because it's a fucking owlbear. And I'm going to just say that. I know it doesn't swim or fly... but if in my mind, it feels like it still needs a saddle that's beyond your standard horse saddle.
Yup. No problem.
All right, I'm gonna hand over the 16 to
60, yeah, 60. Yeah, you can definitely just do that. You've convinced me to not charge 80. I'm not sure why I decided 80. I think because I just thought owlbears had better attacks than a Pegasus, and a Pegasus is meant to be ridden. But then again, that gives you flying speed. But then again, I'm letting you essentially fly because you can power through the barrier in the world. I don't know. I don't know what past me was thinking. Either way, you can remove your gold. You don't have to pay your 1 gold a day yet, but you will at some point because unless your plan is to just live in the wilderness from now on, which I guess you could do, but then you have to start worrying about your own personal food supply as well and start eating your rations, and technically you have to hunt for the owlbears or have them forage. Yeah, I don't know. Lots of stuff to consider. But do we actually want to time jump 2 days? Do we want to like go get Fjorn and just tell him he's here with us?
Nope.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's really I don't know what's gonna happen in the next 2 days. So if we need, and we could
Neither do
just
I. I have a feeling I'm going to tell you to. I have a feeling we're going to be taking. We're going to be ending a little early and I'll have to figure it out over the next week.
Oris can go back and forth, right? Like he can. While
Techni-
they're doing
technically,
the
you
taming,
could all go back and forth. It's just a very long trek.
it's
even.
easier solo, right, for Oris?
I'm gonna
I would
say
imagine.
I'm gonna say Oris is the only one who can make the trip back and forth because you're the only one who ever did without the Black Fang.
Oh, right, because he went to train with.
You went off to train and you found your way and you know a path, whereas everybody else just followed the Black Fang through the wilderness.
I'm fine with not staying at the temple because that's kind of far away, but I don't really care that much. I was thinking we'd be closer to the actual city, just like outside the town, because that way we're at least like if something happens, we're like, oh, we're here. Not we have to travel a
And they're
day
like,
to
"Hey,
get-
what have you been doing in preparation?" And you're like, just taming some owl bears. You know, we're just doing the thing."
No, we've been training owlbears and being and setting up at a location that we know to be a checkpoint that the military will have to stop by.
What? The military
So-
would have to stop by?
just I don't know. I don't know if we need. I don't know what we're doing. We're waiting, doing this feeding thing. It happens every hour. We can't do much else. We'll probably just be reading language, whatever, doing the stuff that we've been doing, and just doing a little bit more during these days. We'll have us be going, back and forth a little bit and keeping us updated. I don't know. That's it. We'll find out what happens when we find out what happens.
Okay.
Question: my exotic saddle, does that go on?
It goes on you. It goes on that.
Yes, but it can,
You ride Blanford like the wind.
yes, but it has a lot of weight that I have to deal with.
Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about the weight. The weight's gonna be on the animal.
Oris is gonna carry it back to wherever you guys are. He'll pick it up for you. wherever
Yeah, I
you guys
guess
want.
until you have it on the animal, yeah, you have to carry them. You might actually have to do one at a time, considering how heavy they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can't move until the owlbear's tamed. I am over capacity until then.
Okay. So, what happens?
So I'm trying to remember the rolls you have to make when you skip your long rests. I think it's con.
On save, I
DC.
think it's DC 10 or
I think
15.
I think it's 10 the first time, and then it cranks up to 15. I think that might be what it is.
Yeah, it's 5 every day that you do it. So you want us to do that now?
Save
yeah.
or check.
Yeah.
Save or check.
Save.
Just-
If you're proficient in con, you can go longer without
I
saving.
don't know why you're proficient in con saves.
I don't think either of you are, but
I don't have any con.
woo, baby, that's a con save. Okay, so May will have 1 level of exhaustion. I'm gonna guess that's 2 levels of exhaustion because it would have cranked
2.
up the second
What-
time.
Yep.
And then Fallstar, if you can do a second one.
Doesn't May get the elven sleeping bonus or whatever? I don't know if that matters.
If she wants to stop feeding the owlbear for 4 hours.
Oh, it's a 4-hour thing. Yeah, never mind.
So the second day you are going to be exhausted.
Oh, and I've got 2.
And
Sure.
and I'm just confirming, you guys definitely don't want to roll those dice, or Oris doesn't want to roll those dice, because he's getting full rests. He could be.
Oris does not
Oris
like
roll.
to gamble on these things.
Okay. Just wanted to
Why
make
would-
sure.
You have 2 levels of exhaustion. Are you trying to kill us?
No, it's just I know there's cool stuff abound, and I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't want to have levels of exhaustion because it's the most irritating.
Yeah, well, you chose to not sleep for 2 days. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
You can sleep on the owlbear after that.
I had to make it difficult because, how long does it take you to break a horse normally? I'm guessing a lot. So now all you have to do is find some magical berries and spend 2 days with a owlbear, and suddenly it's your pet for life. I think that's a pretty sweet deal. I could be wrong. Maybe owlbears should be way easier to tame. Maybe it should just cost you like $100 and then you have an owlbear. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't have things planned for 2 days out. I can give you. Sorry.
How does the has I'd like to get onto the roof of the temple
What is that?
and
Can
see
I
if
see?
the if I
What
see
is that
evidence
to me?
of the
What is
military
What is
approaching.
that to me?
From the top of the temple at what time? At the 2-day mark?
Daddy?
Yeah.
Sorry? After you've done 2 days?
Yes, I'd like to see if there's a
Like I said, I don't have it planned, so you guys can do. We can talk about what's going to happen up till there, like what you guys will do through your 2 days. But then I have to call the episode and figure
Okay.
out what's going to happen.
I'm good.
So again, I'm just confirming. Rim and Fjorn are still in the city.
Oris can let them know when he goes to pick up the armor, I guess.
Is
Where's-
like, are you?
how do I add a costume? I forgot.
You have
Okay.
1 level 2.
I forgot how to add it.
Oh,
You-
I
Go into your thing and there's his conditions and click on the condition.
Okay, thank you.
Good thing you have an owlbear to ride because your movement is halved. Yeah. And while you're doing that, the dice attack you. I just wanted to get a combat in this session. You guys really hate doing 3-person combats, though.
Oris can go
I
back
wanted
and
to
forth
too.
and maybe encounter something on his travels back and forth.
I mean, yeah. You want to just do something fun?
Like
Maybe a
one
solo?
bandit.
Yeah.
One-
Let's do something like that. Just kind of fill the gap in here. Or we can
Down.
call it right now. I mean, it seems a little early. I'd much rather just like throw a monster at you, and you don't have, and you can go all out knowing you're long resting immediately after.
One bandit attacks Oris.
You were attacked by 7 owlbear cubs, and you have to decide if you want to kill them. I don't know what's a fun enemy that you would potentially find out in the. Should I just have you fight like 20 shadows because that's what everybody loves playing apparently?
How about a couple of blue dragon wormlings?
I'm pretty sure the last shadow Oris fought, he punched to kill it.
You did. Punched it through its etherealness. You know what? I think I had. Shoot. I had a monster in a list somewhere. If I can find it real quick. I remember there was a roll for it. Oh, did you want to talk to the rat woman too?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, let's do that instead. Let's just negotiate for some alchemic oil maybe and see what else she has.
Well,
That
she
might be
has.
interesting.
She still has a lot of the same stuff. Like you should double your magical items for a price. If
They
you
don't
guys
have a lot-
remember.
So
Yeah, I mean, you guys might be a little broke at the moment because of the cost of this one.
Well, Oris hasn't spent much, but he doesn't have much money to buy magical equipment anyways, but...
Do you want
he
a
could ask.
second magical brick?
How much was
Well,
the
we
doubling
need a-
cost? I forget. I
It
can
was
look it
on a per item basis, but
Oh, okay.
for the most
we
part,
can ask her about the brick, yeah. Sure.
if that's something I never offered it. She never like mentioned
I
it.
five.
I'm sorry.
I think it was like at least like 500 for like an uncommon.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was like. Shit.
I think it's like
have-
common, 1,000 for rare or something.
Yeah, it was like
Or it's
1,000 for the pearl, 1,000 for the javelin, 2,500 for the ring of protection, which I don't even remember who has that. It was 900 for the cloak of Elvenkind, but you can't do that anymore because you don't have the Black Fang with you. She offered to buy the bag of rats off you guys, which you've never used, so maybe you should just give it to the rat woman. I don't know. It's not up to you. Fjorn has it.
We don't have to
But
show up at
I would have wanted that bag of. I think that bag of rats is super useful. If you,
I think it's awesome, but
Horace is going to build a magical brick house. So
So, but then when you mentioned you knew Whimsy, she offered a discount of 25%. So now you're looking at 750s, some large insane amount for the ring. The Cloak of Elvenkind was only 900. I would say the brick is probably in that same category, maybe even below, because it's not like a super powerful magical item. It has a lot of uses, but I wouldn't say that it falls more into the realm of like, decanter of water, fun items. So I would say you probably want to pay like, let's say it's normally 700 and she discounts it to like 4 or something if you're really interested. But I don't know how much gold you have.
Not even close to that.
can Oris ask the rat woman if she knows anything about the bow,
About the owl soul.
the owl soul?
Yeah. Who did you get it from? You got them from
The mayor in
yeah,
the
what was his name?
unnamed
Phalor?
town. Yeah, something like that.
Phalor, and then he died. Poor guy. Like, if I remember correctly, I think he gave you the bow, but also died. Like, I think Schrodinger's catted that bow. Like, there was no way for me to give it to you, but I wanted you to have it before that fight or something. I can't remember. I'm trying to think back. I feel like
Yeah.
I kind of DM waved that bow, that you got it as he was dying from him somehow.
I think he gave it to like Callie or somebody to hand it to me when we
Maybe
came back
that's what
up.
it was. Yeah, or now I'm trying to remember if that you got it.
You were like, you had him. You were like, oh,
We-
he was supposed to give it to you. Okay, I guess some of the villagers walked up and were like, here you
Yeah,
go.
and then you
Yeah.
immediately like scored critical hits with it, and I was like, oh, it's already powering up. I didn't mean for that to happen so quick.
We we
Should've-
climbed out of the well and then you gave it to Oris and then we fought right away and yeah.
And it was
critical
fight
hits.
time. Bad DMing 101. Although that was a good fight, it was fun. Yeah. So what does she know about the bow? What would she know? I mean, she's impressed by it. She's a collector of magical trinkets and loves all those kinds of things. You can mention the Highmark Guild and she'll be hesitant to talk about it too much, but she will admit that she is also a member of the Highmark Guild.
And yeah, and if she doesn't know about the bow, maybe she knows somebody who could help to further unlock its power.
Oh, we're just gonna assume it's not at its max.
Maybe not. Maybe it is if it can.
Yeah, if you have 7 bottles of alchemic oil that you can never find.
We'll get there too.
You drink it.
You ask about the bow, and she says to you. She looks at. I forget what voice I gave her. Probably like a shrill old lady voice, like, yes, okay, yeah, I'll look at stuff. I'm not gonna do the voice anymore. I don't feel like it. She tells you that. She tells you that Canadians can't do Southern American accents, and then she tells you that
That
she
is
does. She does feel like the bow has more to give, but how to do it, she's not sure. She suspects that when you're ready, it will present itself. That it's waiting on its wielder to match its power. Yeah, and I don't think you guys want to buy any more stuff from the Rat Woman, but she will mention the alchemic oil, which she will
Yeah.
sell to you.
Alchemic oil.
Um,
They're 500 each.
What the price?
How many? We only need one, right?
You only need 1 alchemic oil. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
How much? What's the price?
Okay, so just like Whimsy, she doesn't normally have it on her. She would be trying to make it. But something you've noticed about her up until now is that she's like unnaturally quick at making things. That's why she offers the doubling thing, which no one else would ever offer, because generally making magical items is a lengthy process and takes a long time. She has this unnatural ability, and you don't know how or why. It might have something to do with the fact that her mind is gone and she thinks she's a rat. It might not. You're not quite sure. But that's why this is such a special thing that she does, where she can quickly produce magical components. So maybe the army should capture the rat lady and not Whimsy, who has to do things at the regular pace. So yeah, she will offer to. I'm guessing she's going to ask you for the ingredients to make it. But fuck, I don't know what those are, so we'll just price it off at 200 gold coins, and you can take 25% off and only be charged
I have
150.
40 platinum.
You have 40 platinum, so that's plenty. 15 platinum will do the trick, because that's 150 gold. And you can get the oil.
40 minus 15 equals, I can't do math.
200,000.
25.
I am literally mentally handicapped at math.
Just do remove on type in
Yeah.
15 and click remove.
Yeah, just
But it's
delete
25
50.
will be left.
Like,
So yeah, you have the alchemic oil. I believe the other things in the book that you required were studded leather armor, which you guys never picked up, the original owl skin, and spectator blood, which is why I keep asking if you're going to roll those dice or not, but that's okay.
It's extremely hard to get the spectator. I don't understand.
It's extremely hard to what?
To get the spectator?
no, it's not.
It's not. I ran the odds later, and it is better than 50% chance. It's like 20 out of 36 to roll spectators.
Oh, well, it's still not smart necessarily. But...
No, when you're exhausted, like what you could have done, right? Theoretically, day one when no one's exhausted, you could have had Oris roll both dice, right? And then if he gets exhausted, he's just going to sleep it off. If he gets poisoned, he's just going to sleep it off. And then if he rolls any of the good stuff / fights the spectators or makes additional copies of the dice for you, you just get those things basically as a bonus. But if you don't want to roll it at all, because Oris says he's not a gambler, which I will take him at his word, he doesn't want to do it.
He's seen the effects that the dice have,
Oh,
and he
if
doesn't
heal-
he doesn't want to take a chance of getting the negative effects, even
Yeah.
if he's going to possibly sleep them off because he
if
doesn't
you
know.
oil
what
That's
in
true.
your Inventory.
It's not a real item either. I'm sorry. You're going to have to just put in the notes that you have the alchemic oil.
Yeah, I just purchased the oil.
It's probably the most expensive note item I've ever given you guys. It's a lot of gold just to keep it in a note, but that's fine. You're going to use it as soon as you get the last piece of the pie anyways. Or I guess
What's the last item?
you need two things. There's 4 things total. You needed the original owl soul leather, which you're wearing, or owl skin, I should say. You need a pair of studded leather armor, because
That's like 45 gold.
it's not expensive, but you'd have to go into 10 and get it. If you want to take the gold out right now, you did look for stuff. You looked for alchemic oil in the market during your downtime the previous day, so you could just say that you bought the armor there, and I will allow you to do that, because otherwise you wasted a lot of downtime there.
I didn't know that was the thing. I forgot that was.
Yeah, that's okay. And then you need spectator blood and the alchemic oil. So now you only need the spectator blood.
Oh, she has it, doesn't she? Or
The eye stalks from a zombie do not count.
no? I thought the rat lady had the spectator blood.
No, she has the
Oh, it's just the
alchemic
dice
oil.
that can do that.
The
Okay.
dice can, the dice can summon spectators, and they probably bleed. I'm just gonna say.
So we're going to go back to town and sleep off the exhaustion.
No, you can't do that because I don't know what's gonna happen 2 days from now. So we were just talking about the stuff you do before you basically hibernate for 2 days, and then we'll see what happens, because like you said, you're telling Fjorn, so I guess we have to ask Emberk if he would come back with you or not. I'm gonna guess he would, because it doesn't really make sense that he would want to just be on his own.
Oh, is he only supposed to be training for the 1 day or something?
He was just supposed to train until he came back, but he didn't say that knowing you guys were going to fast forward a few days into the future.
Oh, he's only
probably-
training until Black Fang gets back? you
No,
think?
until next week. It's just because that was just my excuse to have him not in the party.
Yeah.
He didn't agree to like a certain set number of days of training.
Yeah,
So he can.
He
Still
didn't
train,
even
right?
say that's what he was doing. He just said, I have to not be there today, and I'm like, okay, I'll just say you're training with Rim.
Rim needs lots of work, I guess.
Yeah.
So, That's
Well-
fine. We can put him there, and then if something happens over those 2 days, then he's there with Rim, and you guys are in the temple, and who knows where
And
the Black
Oris.
Fang is, and honestly, that could lead to a really fun, interesting story. So,
Yeah,
how about
Oris
we just
could be
leave
caught
it?
in between things too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, this is actually probably a great time to leave it.
Honestly, I mean, as much as maybe this seemed like a hodgepodge of stuff going on, you guys have given me a sweet ass framework for what could potentially be a really dope episode next week. So
Like we've tied up a lot of loose ends.
yeah, one which was owlbears.
Oh, we also.
Oh
tied
no,
up-
sorry. You did the thing where you talked to the people and you gave them your information. That's true. Yeah, you did all that.
And that thing that's been hanging over us is dealt with, and we've got the owl bears that I'm riding, which is the coolest thing.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. Maybe you will be riding it into combat, into the midst of a battle.
He'll
when
just
we
be
come back in.
asleep riding it,
Okay,
trying a
question.
long rest.
How do I
Trying
attack
to
with the
get that stupid exhaustion.
How do I attack with the owl bear?
I'll have to look into that. I think it just. I honestly I expected it to be a mount to travel quickly, but it potentially has a very cinematic approach to combat. It will probably be something simple like you just roll for your owlbears, or it takes the same turn you do and has its own multi attack.
Okay.
It'll
Good
probably be something similar like that. Just avoid fireballs or any other AoE effects that will hurt you and your mount. And hopefully I can give you guys something badass and epic to do. Honestly, when we started today, I thought you guys were going to just start the trek like into the Shadowfell, and I was going to hand wave Fjorn meeting you there. And then you guys were like, nah, we ain't doing that. We're doing a bunch of other stuff. I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's see what happens.
That was what my plan was too.
Yeah,
We
no.
were going to, in that as we were leaving, we were going to roll the dice and drop a spectator on the, anyone who was pursuing us, and then
I'll be honest, I was struggling a little trying to DM this stuff that I wasn't prepared for, but I think we got where we wanted to go. I hope you guys still kind of got to play a bit of Dungeons and Dragons anyways. It was a lot of
Yeah.
RP, zero combat. Some
and
people
not
love
a-
that.
yeah, like no leveled spells cast,
There,
just a bunch of cantrips.
Fjorn was in combat the entire time.
Yeah, he is. I'm going to level him up to level 6. You guys are screwed.
Well, that's why I was like, maybe I can fight going back and forth or something. I
Actually,
don't
to
know.
be fair, if you care about this, Ezekiel, Rim will be level 3 by then.
Oh, thank God.
So we'll
Step
figure
one, at
out
least.
we'll figure out how that plays out and what happens in 2 days.
I have him be a scout. I haven't really decided yet on the rogue subclass, but I'm thinking scout would be fun because that way he could have survival and nature and stuff.
I finally give it to you, and then I immediately kill him.
That works
'cause
too.
we
Take
do
it
need
away.
Trampled by an owlbear.
Yeah, he dies by owlbear cubs.
We do need someone who can do this survival roles, and you didn't go ranger or druid.
Okay, so I'm gonna call it. I think we had a good one. It was kind of weird, but I mean, weird doesn't have to mean bad. And I hope you guys had a good one. And you can say your goodbyes. 3, 2, 1.
Bye.
Take her easy. I hope everybody has a good day. Also, the streams we're doing are today and Wednesday. We do these campaign. There's another party that's running in the same world, but it's a different group of people playing it, different characters, same campaign world, but different party. And then on Thursday we do this sweet thing called Monster Bash. You can't actually join into that Thursday, but you could potentially join the following Thursday. All you do is you come up with a group of D&D monsters, and I put you in a tournament-style fight against and the battles fight, and you can go watch last Thursday's VOD if you want, and it was a lot of fun, and there were some pretty crazy fights, and I screwed up frightened status effect once, and people were like, hey, what are you doing, DM? Yeah, it was a great time, and it's a great way to play a little bit of D&D without having to spend 3 hours plus playing D&D. So, anyways, have a good night, or have a good rest of your afternoon, everybody, and thank you for watching.